into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Yes, it is indeed your feel-good breakfast show. Welcome to it. Kata Kamabuya reporting for duty on this Tuesday, the 5th of November. It's so good to be in your company at the start of a brand new day. Thanks for joining us for a show that I hope will be equal parts inspiring and entertaining to you. I think we're all still in the buzz and the excitement and the frenzy of being world champions. It hasn't waited yet, ladies,
No,
has it?
absolutely not.
Jenny
No.
Domberg and Kusa Adams joining me along with the team. The team's actually arriving today, by the way. The Springboks are landing at OR Tambo today. Sia Kolisi, Coach Rassi Rasmus, and the Webb Ellis Trophy among those first to arrive today. It's going to be super pandemonium, as you can imagine.
Absolutely. I mean, if you can, make sure to meet with the team at OR Tambo today. I'm excited. I wish they could come on the show. Can we do something
We need
about
to
that?
organize something. Sia, hook it up. You know, he's one of our favorites. He's been on the show a couple of times. I'm
Yeah.
sure they'll make a plan to bring the trophy and the coach and some of the players here as well. That would be very, very exciting
So
show. But
cool.
we do have an exciting show today.
Oh, absolutely. Where are you guys this December?
So I am going to be at home. Literally want to be with the family.
Yeah.
Have barbecue here this first time. It's
Yeah.
like summer, first festive. Where are you guys going to be for December?
Well, tropical island of treasure taking you to Curacao.
Okay,
Guys, relax. It's all work. It's really all work.
but is it though?
Until at about, it really is. We shoot like full 15-hour days sometimes.
That's hectic.
So until about the 16th of December, and when we get back, probably let the jet lag, you know, kind of get out of you, and then afterwards make plans for December. How about
Yeah, I'm going home. I'm a coastal chick, so Port Elizabeth. I'm visiting my family. I haven't seen them in a while, you know?
Lovely stuff, yeah. And of course, on Tuesdays on your Feel Good Breakfast show, it's all about health. So it's going to be a health jam-packed show. We talk about mental health awareness and especially the effects of social media on your mental health. We know that we live in a world where it seems like the approval of others dictates exactly how our mood is and how every day goes, whether you get the right amount of likes, and that shouldn't be the case. And so we'll hopefully be helping you to get around those kind of things, as well as sharing recipes and fitness tips with Marcy Mokhase today. Are you guys all, like very much into your social media?
Absolutely. I'm deep in social media,
Yeah?
especially Twitter. I think that's my go-to.
Really?
That's my go-to platform, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see how that conversation turns out today as we seek to help you so that it doesn't affect your mental health all that much. But somebody who's also very active on their social media, Uncle Tabsy, always with the filters.
Always with the focus. Good morning, fam. Good morning, South Africa. Thank you so much for choosing to wake up with us on this beautiful Tuesday. Welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast show. It's going to be quite the ride till 9 o'clock. My name is Tabiso Makubela, otherwise Uncle Tabsy. The first thing we do right at the top of this time is to set you up with the weather so that you know exactly what it's going to be looking like in those major parts of the country, helping you decide what exactly you need to be wearing this morning. We start off in Johannesburg. It's a partly sunny day for Johannesburg, mainly sunny conditions with a northwesterly wind that will change direction towards the evening, and cloud cover will slightly increase as the day progresses, and a warm sunset is expected out in Josie. And if you're out in Durban, intervals of clouds and sun with pleasant and warmer temperatures. They will range between 21 and 25 degrees. And as the evening approaches, cloud cover will decrease and humidity will increase. Enjoy a break from the rain, Durban. If you're out in PE, Port Elizabeth, Epai, partly sunny conditions can be expected over there with pleasant temperatures and a strong southeasterly wind for the entire day. Humidity will remain high for the duration of the day. And lastly, if you are in the mother city, Cape Town, partly cloudy conditions for Cape Town with a shower in places towards the evening. And towards the evening also, cloud cover will increase with a northwesterly wind. So please be prepared for rain. Don't forget your umbrellas, don't forget your raincoats out in the mother city. city in Cape Town. You're not looking like someone that's ready for the rain today, young lady.
Not at all. I'm bringing all the sunshine to the studio this morning. I see you looking dapper as well.
Look, I think orange is the order of the day for us today. Is that orange or peach? Because I get a bit confused with these things sometimes.
I'm also very confused. I think it's borderline orange peach, but I absolutely love the color, especially going into the summer season.
Yes.
And is that a burnt orange or like a reddish?
Yeah, this is a burnt orange. This is a burnt orange. In fact, Woolies, I think, have gone on a rampage when it comes to the burnt orange. It is like the in color. They've got it in their shirts. They've got it in their chinos. They've got it in these golf t-shirts. I think it's quite the color to have this season.
I absolutely love it.
It's amazing. This is such a playful dress. I love it.
It is. I love the flow of the dress. It's giving me very gypsy vibes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can pair it with a lot of things. I decided to pair it with, you know, neutral brown earrings and my sparkly gold shoes for a pop of color.
Yes.
But, you know, I love the movement. You can also add a belt if you want to snatch your waist. You know what I mean?
That's it. And that's the beauty of a dress like this. The ability, that versatility that we always speak about. It's such an important thing these days because people's lives are so dynamic and we're finding ourselves at different times, at different places, all at the same time.
No, absolutely.
And so to be able to move from one place to the other in the same dress without feeling like you're too overdressed or too underdressed for that space is important. Equally for me with these golf t-shirts that we've been wearing. I mean, I love them. I love that they can be worn at work. You just throw on a blazer on top of it and you're good to work and look serious and be taken seriously. But equally be able to move to like a more social environment and still be good. So that's it. That's the Woolies difference. That's what we're talking about. You can shop these looks online, in store, or on the Woolies app. It is all about the summer. Go on www.woolworths.co.za for that difference.
Yeah, of course, at the start of a brand new day, we love to inspire you with some words of wisdom to inject some positivity into your day. What do we have today?
We have use the change of season to implement an exercise routine. New seasons bring new beginnings. Be aware and be active. Very important, you know. Just be present, be active. New beginnings always is a change for new opportunities as well.
And it is almost like a new season brings that around, doesn't it? When you see, for instance, now from spring into the summer season, a lot more heat, obviously. But, you know, the fields are a little bit greener as well. So use that as a catalyst for yourself to go, well, maybe this signals a change holistically, you know, make some healthy changes, especially during this time of the year where people are looking to get their bodies in shape, get their minds in shape for the restful season coming up. We're going to be doing some yoga a little bit later on, so hopefully that'll help you as well to implement that change of the seasons, if you will. So yes, go out there and use the change of the season to implement an exercise routine for yourself, because those new seasons do bring new changes and new beginnings with them. A chance for you now to be active. Let's go.
And time for us to take a look at those first news headlines. The rand and government bonds have improved after ratings agency Moody's kept the country's last investment grade credit rating unchanged. To go with this, Moody's said credible budget statement in February would be crucial to maintain the current rating. The Western Cape Ministry of Environmental Affairs has called on consumers and visitors to the province to implement responsible water use in the coming months, regardless of the levels of dams in any particular area. In international headlines, 8 Ugandan journalists were detained yesterday for marching in the Ugandan capital of Kampala to protest what they said were police abuses, including beatings and detentions during coverage of student protests. The alleged abuses took place for several days at Uganda's largest public university, Makerere. Iran's announcement that it has developed advanced machines to speed up uranium enrichment jeopardizes a 2015 accord with world powers, Germany's Foreign Minister Heiko Maas said yesterday. And finally, returning from Japan, where he experienced the elation of the Springbok team winning the Webb Ellis Trophy, President Cyril Ramaphosa has shared an open letter with his fellow South Africans. He said the sight of Springbok captain Siya Kolisi lifting the cup at the Yokohama Stadium on Saturday filled him with with great pride. Sia's captaincy is the power of a dream fulfilled, a dream of a young man of humble beginnings to one day wear the green and gold, and of a country that has enabled him to see it realized. South Africans have rallied around the victory in Japan, but says the president, they are also united by a shared desire for a country where all can live in peace and comfort, where all have an equal chance to achieve their full potential. And on that note, it's time for us to take a look what's happening in the world of sport with Kat.
And in keeping with the excitement of President Ramaphosa's open letter and everyone's excitement around the country, after winning the 2019 Rugby World Cup, the Springboks will kick off their Champions Tour in Gauteng on Thursday, the 7th of November, making stops in Pretoria, Johannesburg and Soweto. A few of the squad members are expected to return to OR Tambo International Airport today. In football news, Cape Town City is the latest PSL team to part ways with their coach. The club announced that they have terminated the contract of head coach Benny McCarthy following poor results. In tennis, the 19-time Grand Slam winner Rafael Nadal has returned to the world #1 position for the 8th time in his career after the ATP rankings were released yesterday. And that's a short roundup of the sports headlines. We'll have a look at full bulletins at the top of the hour. Right now, here's your Tuesday Weather Watch.
Don't ruin the moment. Prevent allergies or cold and flu with fast-acting powder nasal spray from the Nexa range. Nexa, brought to you by Pharmadynamics.
Thank you very much, Kat. Let's take a more comprehensive look at your temperatures across the country. But first, a proper look at those sunrise pictures we've asked you to send through. Vilma Liederman, what a beautiful picture you've sent through from Azerfontein in the Western Cape, where partly sunny conditions can be expected today with very warm temperatures reaching a maximum of 31 degrees. You'll be pleased to know. Puluso Mokome also sent us his sunrise picture from Pretoria, where mainly sunny conditions can be expected with low humidity and clear skies towards the evening. And of course, you will reach that hot maximum out in Pretoria today of 31 degrees. You can be exactly like that by getting your pictures through to us on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. And now we take a look at those temperatures across the country. Polokwane, we start with you, 15. That's your low today, reaching a high of 28. And if you happen to be out in Mbombela today, well, times of sun and clouds, 16, reaching a high of 26. With Pretoria starting off at 16, peaking at 31 degrees. Johannesburg, high humidity for you, 15. That's your low, reaching a high of 29, and a sunny day out in Mahikeng, 20. That's your minimum, with your maximum temperatures 33 degrees. Klerksdorp, 17, reaching a high of 34, with Kimberley starting off at 19, peaking at 35 today. A couple of showers are expected out in Bloemfontein, 16. That's your low, reaching a high of 34, with Richards Bay starting off at 21, reaching a high of 30. Pietermaritzburg, times of sun and clouds over there for you today as well, 20, reaching a high of 30, with Durban starting off at 21, climbing up all the way to 25 degrees. And heavy rainfall is expected. Some thunder showers out in Mthatha, 16, and a high of 35, with a northeasterly wind traveling at 33 kilometers per hour. That's for East London, 19, reaching a high of 27. If you're out in Craddock, 13, that's your low, reaching a high of 39, with a southeasterly wind. It's going at 20 kilometers per hour. That's expected for Port Elizabeth, 17, reaching a high of 26. George, 14, peaking at 27, with the lowest temperatures in the country. That's for Sutherland today, 11, reaching a high of 26. The mother city, Cape Town, 15, that's our low, reaching a high of 24, with Worcester starting off at 14, reaching a high of 32. Springbok, 11 and 31, with the highest temperatures once again today in Uppington, 19, reaching a high of 39 degrees. It seems like a pretty good day in most parts of the country, but no matter what it's looking like in your part of the country, we hopefully can make it a feel-good type of day for you.
Well, it's always a good day when you tune into your Feel Good Breakfast show, and even better day when you've got Sis Princess.
Hey.
There's more. Sis man.
Yeah, people trying to catch.
Very good, very good.
I'm Sherry Osmo.
Kosinana.
Face beat for the gods.
Benjamin, we can
Oh, even Mandy got cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Mandy, Jan, especially Springbok wins.
Yes!
And you said it. You
yes.
called it.
And now we are world champions,
Yes.
baby. World champions. Sis Princess, as we start this Tuesday morning, are you going to offer us something a little bit different?
From what
the
you have
coffee
on the menu.
What do you have?
Flat white or mocha
Oh,
Yes.
mocha.
Are you
Yes.
going for
I will mocha.
I'll go
can,
for the flat white.
I can like the mocha. Please, thank you very much, Sis Princess. Really, really appreciate it. Yes, and world champions, we are all across the nation. Let's get our refreshment, and I actually can't wait to taste this mocha.
I can't as
I
well.
always go for the regular stuff, right? But join us on the other side of a very short break for more feel-good vibes right here with Sis Princess, world champion. Yes.
Only the highest grade Arabica beans. McAfee, great coffee, simple. See you after the break.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's the start of a brand new Tuesday morning as we welcome you back to your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. Thanks for joining us. It's so good to be in your company. Now, it's been said that there's no other love like the love from a brother. And this morning, we're joined in studio by three gentlemen who are helping our needing sisters in our community through their Donate a Pad campaign, looking to combat the high rate of teenage girls missing out on their education.
And in studio today, we are joined by Kaya Qekani, Peace Zoliza Boza, and Bongani Makeleni, the founders of the Kusasa Letu group. Let's give them a warm welcome in studio because they're doing amazing work.
Morning, gents. How are you?
Good, thanks, and you?
Fantastic. Great to have you here. This is an incredible thing that you have undertaken, very much needed issue to address within our communities. Your drive in helping disadvantaged girls in our country with this Donate a Pad campaign. Give us a bit of an idea of what the stats are looking like right now and exactly what it is that prompted you to start this movement.
No, definitely. So thanks so much for the opportunity. So when we started the foundation, it was 2016.
Yeah.
And at the time, we looked at the stats, there were about 9 million girls, and 25% of those 9 million were not able to have a sanitary pads to go to school.
Oh, wow.
And that was between the ages of 13 to 18. And our biggest challenge at that stage was just collecting and getting people involved to support us and encourage just these young girls to go to school.
Yeah.
So take us back a little bit. I mean, what you guys are doing is very fundamental, especially during the development stages for young women, because it's a big thing in our country. What was the moment of enlightenment for you guys? What clicked and that made you guys think, you know what, this is something that we need to do, and as men, let's take it upon ourselves to do it?
Look, it started in 2016, as Peace said. There was this one schoolboy who was going to school carrying his books with a checkers bag. So that is basically how we started the Nkosazana Foundation. We said, what can we do to help this boy and also to play our role in our communities as well? Following year, we started to do something else, because on that first year, 2016, we collected school bags and we gave it to children. We moved to the sanitary towels, the space gave you the stats. We also wanted to play our role because menstruation, us especially as guys, we think it's a stigma. We even don't want to go to the aisles in the shops, you know. We said, you know what, we'll make things different. We'll collect on behalf of our sisters and make sure they go to school, they get education so that they can change their tomorrow.
I love it.
Yeah. Man, that is incredible. So right now you are on a national tour.
Yes.
And there's a big goal that you have planned for 2019. Clue us in on that, and also let us know, you know, how the public can be a part of this, whether it be through a website that we can join in, read up more information about what it is that you're doing. Give us the plan for 2019 and also details of the national tour.
Actually, it's been a great year, I must say. We're closing this year on a big event that is taking place in Eastern Cape. I remember when we started, it was a dream for us to go to Eastern Cape because it's where the struggle is.
Yeah.
Remember, in Eastern Cape, it's quite a distance. You might have the 20 rand for the pack, but you need another 40 rand. 20 rand again to travel and 20 rand again to come back.
Yes.
So for us, it was a dream to take the service that we're providing to these high schools straight to where the struggle is, in the rural areas. This is the 4th school that now we'll be doing in Eastern Cape.
Yeah.
4th school, and we are in Tabankulu. We're sending about over 700 packs of pads.
Already.
That's
and you are aiming to collect and distribute 5,000.
Yeah, that was the ultimate goal when we started, you know. We've been doing throughout the year, and we keep on pushing because menstruation, it's an ongoing thing. You understand? Yes, we might be going now, but it's an ongoing thing. There are also schools in Cape Town also, and we are planning to do what we're doing.
Yeah.
So where can we follow you? Let's talk about that, because we want everyone at home to know, you know, post this interview, where can they find information about you, whether it be on social media, on Facebook and stuff like that, and how they can then continue to support. As you said, this is an ongoing mission.
Yeah. We have our Facebook page, Nkosazana Group, and also have Instagram, which is Nkosazana_group, and also have our website, that is Nkosazana Group, www.nkosazana.group. You can get all the information there.
Fantastic stuff, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Absolutely enlightening. The co-founders of Nkosazana. Right now, let's check what Tabsy is doing in the dining room.
Well, here I am in the dining room. Hopefully your Tuesday's off to a feel-good, inspiring energy. We're going to keep it that way all the way through to 9 o'clock. It is a Tuesday, and that means we sort of take you traveling into the world of movies to find out what's happening, what JP Sebastian has found during his spare time. I say during his spare time, the trailers of movies that you need to be looking out for coming out either in this year still, or some of them coming out next year. JP Sebastian, some really interesting ones. The first one here. A famous model decides to leave the world of photos and disappear forever. And the title of the film is The Disappearance of My Mother.
Yeah, so there's something for everyone in these couple of movies we're going to be talking about. The Disappearance of My Mother is a documentary about, like you said, this famous model. And it was back in the day, mostly the 60s, that she was treated like a goddess. I don't know if anyone would know the name Benedetta Bazzini. But, hey, I don't know that fashion world and whatever, but she was, to artists like Andy Warhol, we must know that name, Salvador Dali, you do know Dali. She was their muse. She inspired them. She was just, had this air about her, this enigmatic sort of aura. But the documentary follows her life in her 70s. She's now at a time where she has told her son, and she's told the rest of the world, that she means to disappear. We don't know what she means by that exactly, and we hope that it's not, it doesn't involve self-harm or anything like that. But she would like to leave this material world despite having been her whole life in front of the lens. So that's quite an interesting sort of like philosophical position to start from, and the trailer really gives you this feeling that is she onto some sort of secret that all of us, especially us people in front of lenses, take for granted. Someone who was photographed her entire life, whether for tabloids, for film, for modeling, for fashion, for the catwalk, wants to put all of that behind her. And since it then does some sort of a retrospective. You see these clips of her from back in the 60s where she's talking about the image, and especially even in today, in 2019, being for the male gaze. This is what made her a feminist, and then later in her life, a radical militant feminist. And now in Italy, a Marxist communist professor. Like, how does this person make this huge transformation in her life? Incredible. And even if you don't know the subject, even if you don't know who this lady is, I mean, for me, that's still really intriguing. I'd like to
It sounds like there's a lot to draw from it. It sounds like we can all look at her story and sort of mirror the stories of many other celebrities who are in the public eye.
We wonder why some celebrity implodes, why they go into rehab or something like that. And is it because this culture is, in her opinion, obviously from the female perspective, toxic to the embodiment of a female behind camera and all that kind of stuff? But we'll hear her opinions from the lady herself, who that documentary has been made by her son. So interestingly, even though she hates the camera and wants to get away from it, she eventually almost starts co-collaborating to express her final image on her terms.
Insane. It's incredible. Okay, well, here's one, absolutely star-studded. I mean, I saw Issa Rae and I thought, well, say no more. You can take my money for the movie tickets. This one is called The Photograph.
I think it was this year already that Little came out, a comedy with Issa Rae, so people might know her from there. Lakeith Stanfield, we didn't get Sorry to Bother You just yet, even though it's been called a masterpiece in the United States. Please, South Africa, buy this movie and bring it to show us. He's also obviously the guy from Get Out. People might remember the guy who has the photo taken of him, interestingly enough.
Yes.
Snap, and then his nose bleeds, and he shouts Get Out to
and then it's over.
The sunken place. So interestingly, going from the story of a model who cannot stand being in front of a camera. We have now, this is a fictitious story. The previous one, obviously, I must make clear, was a documentary about a real-life person. This is a romance set for Valentine's Day, which is good enough for me. Issa Rae is a young lady who finds a photo that her mother took. Her mother is estranged to her. They never had a relationship. She doesn't know who this woman was. And then you see this one moment in black and white of your mother in a happy place with her lover of hers. And you wonder, who was this person? So she finds these letters then of her mother to her daughter, almost like an apology, like why I couldn't be present, why I felt like, I couldn't be the human you wanted me to be. And all the while, her mother is being profiled by the journalist that Lakeith Stanfield plays. So there are these parallel timelines of a mother who feels like this complicated woman who was whether afraid of commitment, whether afraid of love, whether afraid of the kind of people she'd hurt or whatever. Then impressed onto her daughter, is that the kind of person I become? Do I end up letting down the people I love? Letting down, is that even the right word? Do I live for myself? But it looks really beautiful.
If you've got a tear or two to drop, this is the film you need to be checking out. It sounds like
I'm always so happy as well when we get, and especially with representation in Hollywood, wanting to see more black actors. Where there's so many movies where it's like, home invasion or man's be trifling or crazy black lady. And like, just please, just a nice, a beautiful romantic movie, whether if it's even schmaltzy and if it's acted by people as brilliant as Lakeith Stanfield.
And Issa Rae.
Then it doesn't even matter if it's...
Jumanji, the next level. You've got Kevin Hart in there, you've got Dwayne Johnson. I know we're in for a laugh.
A bit of a departure, of course, from the previous two movies we were talking about. Like I said, something for everyone. That poster is magnificent. I'm so happy that for whatever reason they've added a big horse in the background.
Which, very interesting.
Which has its own reasons for being there. The trailer will make clear to you. They fleshed out a bit now. They've added a bit more characters from the previous trailers that we've seen. This one is... Oh, sorry, I'm going sidetracked here. Just by the way, The Photograph, like I said, Valentine's Day next year. This one is 12th of December this year.
This year, okay.
It's Jumanji. And they've revealed that they've fleshed out the cast a bit, including the horse, which is integral. That will be revealed to you in time.
I should hope so if they're going to include it in the poster.
I'm pretty pleased that I think this happens a lot with movies once they get the sequel. The first one is a tester, and it's like, how wild can we go? How stupid can the comedy go and whatever? And then when they get a good enough signal from us us as viewers, it's like we don't care. Go boss. Like the stupider the better. So add a talking horse and you've got JP pleased. Seriously, I'm not even going to need any sort of illicit narcotic to enjoy that.
So the 12th of December, that's when it's out here.
Yes, and now aside from the comedy that the previous trailer induced, you've got the danger here of one of these characters supposedly has to possibly die for them to escape Jumanji. Oh, you know, chattering teeth and biting nails and all this kind of stuff. But yes, just so you remember, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is playing Danny DeVito because Danny DeVito's body gets transported into this gargantuan man, and Kevin Hart plays Danny Glover. So they impersonate the actual actors really, really well. I look forward to that. It's nice to see
It's a good one.
The Rock just take the mickey out of himself, you know, like a dude as big and strong and scary as he is in all these action movies where he always wins the fight.
Yeah, where he's always lifting cars and all of that. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much, JP Sebastian. This is really awesome. The disappearance of my mother, the photograph, and Jumanji, the next level. Let us know on our social media. Expresso, Morning Show, SABC3. Which ones are you going to be checking out? Which ones are standing out for you?
Vogue.
What? Are you? Did he just Vogue? Wow, JP Sebastian, we're full of surprises on this Tuesday morning. Wow, okay. Anyway, earlier on, ladies, we were talking about the fact that we live in a technology-ridden world. And, you know, now we're even talking about autonomous cars that drive themselves. And now we could be on the brink of flying cars.
Lost my brace. If I'm going in the air, leave me alone. I'm not going in. No.
So you are totally no on that.
Absolutely.
I mean, it depends. For me, it totally depends. What kind of license you have? Now, are you a pilot? How does it work?
See, but if it's driving itself, then that doesn't matter.
Oh, it's driving itself.
Yeah, so it flies autonomously. Would you trust? Would you get into a taxi like that?
Oh, no.
Like you call Uber and then... and now it just... Now you must get inside. Now it locks and now you can't get out. Initiating flight sequence. And now you must go.
No, I'm so sorry.
Hello, Greg. This is mic 1. Mic 1. Test. Test. Hello, Greg. 1 2 1 2. SM58. SM58. I'm on the stage box 1.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. It is a Tuesday and it is a Tech Daily. Now, the flying car industry is trying to go mainstream with a Chinese company, Yihang, filing for an initial public offering on the Nasdaq valued at $100 million. Imagine.
Sure, that's a lot.
Too much. This is despite the fact that nowhere around the world a single commercial passenger has been transported. Okay, now the company, which has flown thousands of test flights over the years, is preparing to launch what it hopes is the world's first autonomous air taxi service in the coming months.
Wow.
Are you for real?
Okay, the world is moving at a speed I can't even cope with.
Can't even imagine. Now, Yihang is one of the dozens of companies that are convinced flying cars will become a viable mode of urban transportation in the future. These include drone makers, aerospace firms, ride-hailing companies, and even a few automakers. There are broad technical and regulatory challenges that could prevent this future from being realized. Yihang is not a profitable company. In the first half of 2019, it had a net loss of $5.5 million and net operating cash outflows of $5.8 million. It will be interesting to see if there's any interest from the public.
That's going to be very interesting. Is this something you'd be interested in? Getting onto an autonomous flying taxi. No? Yes?
Last for maybe the haze. I don't think, like, if it's an aeroplane, it's an aeroplane. But actually, just like we were just speaking about it, like Kat was saying, it's like calling an Uber and then being like, having someone just fly over and be like,
And then like picking you up and then,
So definitely
You're not ready for that one, eh?
Not ready at all. How about
not
you?
for you. You know, I'm very open-minded. I'm prepared to try these things at least once and then say, I'm no longer getting on that thing. Who knows? But why don't you let us know? Get on our social media, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, if there's any interesting tech stories that have caught your attention. Or if this one is the story that's caught your attention, what are your thoughts? Would you get on one of these? Would you support this mission? We want to hear from you. That hashtag, once again, is Expresso Show.
Stream Fireplace.
Dion Wired, where humans go for technology.
Now, can you believe it? It has been 13 long, dry, sad years since these powerhouses sitting next to us have been in the studio. And now, Bongo Muffin have reunited. Stone, Speedy, Thandi, Somaswai and Jasid have recently reunited to create some new chart-topping music, conscious, soul-stirring music indeed. The group has finally completed their long-awaited album, From Bongo with Love, and they are here to tell us all about it. Let's welcome Bongo Muffin to the studio! Oh, man, the excitement. Okay, obviously minus Thandi right now because she's in makeup, doing the things right.
Getting the face beat.
But gents, thanks for joining us. It's such a wonderful privilege to have you back in our new studio.
Yeah, we like it. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. What do you think?
I love it. It's
Where's the view? We missed the view.
We gotta go outside now to see the view.
The rooftop.
The rooftop view was amazing. But this is nice, stunning, fresh air, I must say. Yeah, abundance of fresh air. Lots of nature. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 2 years since you got back to the studio, right? And I know that you have a long-awaited album that you are soon to release on the 29th of November.
Yes.
Please tell us about that, what we should expect.
I think the album, you know, the title is an apt title for the album because we're calling it From Bongo with Love. And it's a little bit of a play from those James Bond movies, From Russia with Love.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So a little bit of it is a mission that we are on, but at the same time, it's really a labor of love from the people that have inspired us and the catalyst for us getting together, which is really the people. And that's what we put on the album. There's a lot of dance, there's a lot of lyrical dexterity, but also there's a lot of soul that kind of connects with our Bongo Muffin audience that has been the base to what Bongo Muffin is about.
We have 17 songs on the album.
17.
So, well, 2 years later, you've got to pack on.
We actually cut it down from
It was 23 songs. We went down to 20.
There is still going to be some more, I think, that are going to get released.
As singles on the side.
As singles on the side.
Oh, nice.
I mean, we appreciate the fans that much to give them more music, you know?
And the fans appreciate the hard work that you're putting in, because we're getting a first look now at the album cover on our screens, and it looks incredible. Tell me about that.
Shout out to Stone for sourcing out that guy that actually designed it.
Yeah, there's a gentleman called Modise from Negritude, and I found him on Facebook, actually.
Wow.
I went to a group called Brown Sense on Facebook, and he just came out, and he's done incredible work for us. So the concept was about a deck of playing cards. And all of them are the cards of hearts, you know? So we have the Queen of Hearts, we have the King of Hearts, we have the Ace, and we have the Jack. I'll leave it up to you to figure out who's
There's a lot of work on the song, right?
I think we must just turn them into animation characters, you know?
I'm sorry, like a whole animation series, each one of them with their own superpowers.
Yeah, man.
We almost had a sitcom. Speedy Stone and Justice.
I know that. And the colors, the Seeds colors here, like the Africa colors, where people think they're the Jamaica colors. But a lot of flags in Africa are actually these colors. The red, the black, green, and gold, you know? I think Ghana
has
that same thing. Ethiopia has the same colors. And a few other countries, Zimbabwe, and South Africa has some of those colors within the flag. So it's almost like where we're saying that Africa is the theme, love is the theme, and rhythm is the theme.
And I mean, as Bongo Muffin, we've traveled all over the world. There's no place like Africa.
America is either too hot or too cold. Africa is the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
This way it happens here.
Yeah.
Don't let them tell you anything. Africa is the real deal.
The alpha and the omega.
And I mean, we see it
Sure.
through your artwork, your music, and most recently you released Give Me Joy.
Yes.
What's that song about?
Exactly about that, right?
Give me joy.
Give me
Yeah.
joy. And I mean, at a time where we won the Rugby World Cup, they gave us joy, you know. And I think it's an inspiration for a country that is on its knees, you know. Sometimes even suffering at under the weight of its own judging ourselves without ever celebrating the moments, you know. Victories in life are not really about you winning one major war. It's like a series of small victories on a daily level, you know.
And I'm
if
sure
we can bring
to
it
win
down
also, to win, it means South Africa went through a lot of hacking. You cannot have a good product without serious and thorough hacking.
Yeah.
So I think the rugby guys,
Edward
they
Snowden.
really hacked themselves this time around.
Levels.
Levels, isn't it? Yeah, that's where I think you don't win easily. You have to like really go through thorough re-introspection, and congratulations to them.
So yeah, give me joy. That's
so give me
really
joy.
what it's about. Yeah.
Listen, there's so much for us to celebrate, not just the Springboks winning the World Cup, but just you being here. And we have so much more to chat about throughout the morning. So thankfully we have you for a little while longer, and cannot wait to hear the first sound bites of the brand new album.
It's great to be here.
29th of November from Bongo.
Pre-order right now.
You can...
Oh, I like that picture.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? We can pre-order right now?
Yeah, on iTunes
right
now.
now.
Go for
On
it.
iTunes.
Okay, do that. Pre-order your album from Bongo with Love. Bongo Muffin's in the house, ladies. Come on now.
We are in the absolute presence of African music royalty, Bongo Muffin, here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's going to be so nice. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so chara. So what have you got for us? Our South African celebrities are going and just flying the South African flag all the way up high.
I mean, Bonang,
Yeah.
we have Charlize Theron, we have
Yeah.
Trevor Noah, just making big names out in the US, representing South Africa real good. I mean, they are giving the people what they want.
They are giving the people what they want. I mean, when it comes to Bonang, and we'll go into a full detailed story on this, but she is slaying the world of business. She is slaying covers of magazines, not just here at home, all over the world as well, hosting events that we could never dream of being hosted by a South African. You're going to hear all about it when we get back after this.
Support Crush in giving away another 20,000 pairs of school shoes to children in need. Buy a Crush, dial the number on the pack, and stand the chance to win your share of 500,000 Rand. Hashtag share the goodness. Made with love by Clover.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Expresso, it's a beautiful Tuesday morning. It's time for us to gossip a little bit right now.
Yeah, gossip in all the right kind of ways.
Yes, no, definitely.
I feel like I want to play director a little bit of the show and be like, cut to the picture on screen now. Bam! Look at that. I mean, life goals done. Yes, your Queen Bee, TV personality and mogirl/mogal, Bonang Matheba. She's had quite an impressive 2019 with launching, of course, her very own MCC and ending off her successful reality show Being Bonang and hosting the Miss South Africa pageant. I mean, what an incredible year it has been for her. Now, Bonang is ending the year off with a bang in the biggest way after having hosted the Equanimity Awards in Dallas, Texas last month. She did a great job there. And the latest news that is putting a spring in her step again, the announcement that she has won a leading channel's People's Choice Awards for African Influencer of the Year.
That's
this is amazing. You must stand up.
That's absolutely big.
Yeah, and the fact that this was a viewer-based vote.
Exactly, and she was up against WizKid, she was up against Tiwa Savage, who we thought are global artists, and here she is, a young woman from South Africa taking a global award. I think that's incredible.
Of course, she's well-loved and known by many. She's probably one of the most, if not the most, famous African media personality.
Yeah,
I think
I would say that.
With Trevor Noah, I think she's right up there, wouldn't you say?
Up there
Same
with
with
Trevor Noah.
Absolutely. And of course, she's no stranger to the States as well. She's actually set her sights on a big move to the United States. Wow. She's planning on moving to New York after next year's glamorous Met event, and she's currently putting all plans in motion so that she can hit the ground running once she lands there and makes that her new home. So she'll be heading to Santa Monica this weekend to accept the award at next week's event. And then, I mean, after that, then the sky is the limit. I don't even think the sky is the limit. It's way, way beyond that right now. But to her, we say, halala reahwa khola, we celebrate and ululate you for flying the flag so high. I mean, how inspiring is it for you young ladies to watch what Bonang has done with her career?
She is literally like, she's a person that like, you'll say, you know, one day I want to be Bonang, I want to be like her because she's just so
I guess that's why the show's called Being Bonang.
Being
Exactly,
Bonang.
100%.
And she's just got such a good personality and she's relatable and people can see themselves in her. So like really, congratulations to her. We love you, Bonang.
Absolutely, and also with the documentary Public Figures, she did an incredible job. I mean, that's for us people who are upcoming as well, who look up to her or look up to public figures such as yourself, Kat. You know,
thank you.
To learn a thing or two. So she's incredible, she's inspiring, and we love her.
Yeah, and I guess it's a shout out to anybody out there who has a dream, and not necessarily a dream in the media per se or in entertainment. You can come from anywhere and you can make it anywhere. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Just like she's done. And we're wishing you all of the best, Bonang. Good luck. Make us proud. Fly that flag high. Do what you do best. Serve them their shampoo.
Yes, queen.
Their shampoo. Pop bottles on him, girl.
The world of B&G, serving it over here, serving it over there, serving it in Santa Monica. We're so proud of your girl B, Mugel. It's time for us now to sit with JP Sebastian once more, this time around taking a look at some really hectic movie trailers that you've put together, JP. The first one, Black and Blue, which is a suspense horror.
I think you are too excited about all the new movies coming out. This is the movie review of one movie coming out this Friday, just so you know.
Well, this one that we're talking about. Let's check it out.
The suspense got to you.
Hey! Wait, stop!
Easy. What's your name? Identify yourself, please.
I'm Officer West. I need a ride to the precinct.
All right, West, let me get you some help, all right?
No. Stay off the radio, please.
Relax. It's fine. It's fine, all right? Are you okay? You look like hell. Where's your ride at?
It's a long story.
All right, come on. Let's go. Let's get you out of here. Are you injured? Come on, we got you.
Brody, we found West. We got her. He's a second in the meal.
It's all right. We got you. West, hey, don't be stupid, West. All he wants is the body cam.
Naomi Harris. Wow.
In the movie review.
Don't be silly now.
I'm just joking.
Okay, so, I mean, that seems very interesting. This is not the first time we've seen Naomi Harris in that sort of role. We've seen her in James Bond, even though she played receptionist.
Yeah. Still there, she knows how to do suspense. She knows how to do thriller. You're not totally on the wrong track.
Yeah.
But I just, ask, because a lot of people, I don't know if they know her name as, I don't know if she's as much of a household name, even though she's such a dynamic actress, so diverse. So you would have seen her in Pirates of the Caribbean. She was a spooky voodoo lady in that. She was in Moonlight. She was the mother of the protagonist in that, which she acted excellently and which she was rightfully at least nominated for supporting actress for. So this is an Oscar nominee you're seeing in this movie, Black and Blue, which is a suspense thriller, social commentary in a way, kind of story. She plays a police officer, someone at least who has done 2 tours of Afghanistan, so she's got her stripes in military, and she thinks that she can do good from within. She's a person of moral character. She's got a backbone to her. But the bad apples argument is just a few bad cops. She sees too much. She sees corrupt officers doing deals, and this is why she's running away in that scene you just saw. She's obviously, as is mandatory, I think, in hopefully all states in the United States right now, wearing a body cam which records all of her police activity. And here, as you're seeing now, she sees more than she bargained for. Fortunately, survives that and spends the rest of the movie on the chase, on the run from these corrupt
cops,
officers who think that they're just culling the flock. They're just the ones who keep the control of the drugs and the trafficking and the movement and all that kind of stuff. Sort of just like, remember in Training Day, Denzel Washington was like, I'm just the one making the hard decisions. King Kong ain't got S-word on me.
But I always feel like she then finds herself in a place where she doesn't know who to trust anymore.
Absolutely. As you could see in some of the clips already, like they're not even trusted in the community.
Exactly.
Which is where Tyrese Gibson comes in.
There's Tyrese.
Some point. Well, he'll be around any moment now. So she has no one to turn to, as you say. Cops aren't trusted. They killed a prominent community figure, even though this dude's a drug lord. You know, sometimes these guys, they have clout. They have like pull in the community, whether for good or bad. And so she, in a desperate moment, turns to Tyrese Gibson, who we're seeing there now, and who we'll see in the clip in a bit. But look, I think I've fleshed out enough as it is, so let me get to the down and dirty, and obviously JP's not got nice things to say, as usual, because he's such a meanie. Look, it's generic, and we've seen this kind of thing before. Like I just mentioned, Training Day, and anywhere where, you know, poor, bright-eyed, green rookie cop thinks that they're going to change the system from within, the system turns against them, whatever. That's not a bad thing necessarily to be talking about in 2019, where we're seeing so much of a systemic problem of racism in the United States police, killing innocent people, you know, all these stories that we've seen, and cops being acquitted by weird means and strange juries and all that kind of stuff. But it's not as sort of deep as it would like to be, and for an issue that's that serious, it should be a bit more than just a chase movie.
So you're feeling like it's not hitting quite where it needs to be hit.
Yeah, and also, like I said, it's completely generic and cliche. It's not necessarily either packaged in itself to be a big screen action movie. There's no draw for me to put my butt in a cinema from anything that I've seen, and even though I've seen the movie. But
if you're wondering if you've seen enough about this film, this Black and Blue, take a look at this.
I've said his name a couple of times. Tyrese Gibson, Black and Blue.
Hello?
No, it's me. It's me.
What the hell is going on? Is that blood?
I need sugar.
Look, I don't know what's going on, but you can't be in here.
I've been shot.
What? What do you mean?
Can I use the phone?
Who shot you?
Can I use your phone?
You gotta go. I don't want no parts of this. The police is riding around here all the time. They'll help you.
It was the cops that shot me.
Good old Tyrese Gibson. Come on,
look at us putting on the TV face. We were not saying nice things.
Yeah, he tries. You weren't saying nice things.
No, I wasn't. Look, he's not terrible, absolutely. And look, if the character's supposed to be a shopkeeper in a tiny suburb, why do you need him to be grandiose and, you know, Shakespearean and whatever?
Yeah. But what the hell is going on?
My method is just to hunch like the hunchback of Notre Dame. You can't come in here.
He had me thinking there about the conversation we had last week about strokes, how to tell when you've just had a stroke. When the speech goes and you are like...
If you find yourself in a do-rag and like you've got a big boiled potato in your mouth.
And what the hell is going on? So what the hell is the score you're giving this film?
Namaste to Tyrese. What the hell? 4 out of 10. I'm sorry. Look, second best action you can see at the moment. Rather go see Terminator Dark Fate first, which is not great itself. Yeah. But maybe we're just in a difficult time right now. You got Star Wars in December. Hold out hope. If you want to just mindless chase kind of stuff, whatever.
This is the film to watch. 4 out of 10 from JP Sebastian for Black and Blue. It's got Tyrese Gibson in there, Naomi Harris, Frank Grillo, Mike Calter. Let us know on Facebook what you think. That hashtag is Expresso Show. Final words?
I was going to say, all those good actors, it's just the thing is if you put them under the umbrella of a director who's got his hands full.
Dion Taylor, busy man. Let us know.
Well, Her Majesty, the Queen of Hearts, is joining us from Bongo with Love. Taniso Masai is in the studio. Hey, Queen. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Very, very well. Thank you for joining us this morning.
You're so lively in the morning. It's that I haven't even managed to get out of my man voice. Like, you know what I mean? It takes me about 3 hours in the morning
to get out of the man voice.
Morning. Good morning, baby.
They don't call us the feel-good breakfast show for nothing, you know what I mean? Plus, we have the lovely princess here who serves up like the best in refreshments. That gets us alive.
Ndiyaphila sisenkosi njani wena?
Ndiyaphila usemhle.
Enkosi.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, you're complimenting each other. This is Princess Lemoke Kona.
Yes.
And what would you like to drink, Sandra?
I'm going to have some tea.
Yeah?
Yeah, when nobody.
Okay, nice one. You know, earlier on, we were speaking to the gents from Bongo Muffin, and we saw the beautiful album artwork for the new album. And they said there's supposed to be a king, a jack, and an ace.
I was supposed to be the king.
Okay.
For obvious reasons. But then I got, you know, somebody decided that I should be the queen, but you know.
And then wait,
it's also fine. It's also good enough.
What I was going to ask you is like, who's the jack and who's the ace then in the?
I'm not sure how that goes. I'm not sure. I don't even know who the king is now, because if I've been kicked out of the king spot, then I really don't know. I think they probably they're fighting for it in the back.
Well, I tell you what, the 29th of November is a date that you definitely need to remember because that is the release date.
Yes.
For
November
from Bongo
29.
with Love. Brand new album from Bongo Muffin coming out, and we cannot wait to hear snippets of that on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Nangatia yako, enjoy it. Thank you very much, Sis Princess. We'll see you on the other side of a very short break. Bongo Muffin are still right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
Just a little.
Join former Miss World Dr. Raleen Strauss and the ever-so-suave Nico Panaggio as they host this year's Pink Polo, presented by Biomedical Emporium on the 9th of November at Valdevia Estate. With proceeds going to breast cancer awareness, be part of SA's Who's Who saying hello to summer with a day of polo, fashion, sunshine and celebrity in the Winelands. At the Pink Polo, presented by Biomedical Emporium.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is a Tuesday right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. It is about that time. It is 7 o'clock, and we are going to look at what is happening in and around the world with your news with Uncle Tabsy.
And time for us to take a look at those news headlines. The rand and government bonds have improved after rating agencies Moody's kept the country's lost investment grade rating unchanged. There is general consensus that a negative outlook usually means there is a window of between 12 and 18 months in which to downgrade could be delivered, or rather a downgrade could be delivered. To go with this, Moody's said that a credible budget statement in February would be crucial to maintain the current rating. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Tito Mboweni has called on government, labor, business and civil society to roll up their sleeves, saying they needed each other more than ever before. The Western Cape Ministry of Environmental Affairs has called on consumers and visitors to the province to implement responsible water use in the coming months, regardless of the levels of dams in any particular area. The average level of dams supplying the city of Cape Town is 84%, following the surprise summer rains that fell during the past 10 days. Meanwhile, residents of Pretoria and Johannesburg are urged to conserve water. In Johannesburg, residents are facing level 2 water restrictions, and experts say that heat waves will intensify as climate changes worsen. In international headlines, 8 Ugandan journalists were detained yesterday as they marched in the capital, Kampala, to protest what they said were police abuses, including beatings and detentions during coverage of student protests last month. The alleged abuses took place for several days at Uganda's largest public university, Makerere, where students staged protest against planned fee increases. A police spokesperson said the journalists had been released but refused to explain why they had been arrested. Human Rights Watch accused the government of using disproportionate force in curling the protests and condemned attacks on journalists. Iran's announcement that it has developed advanced machines to speed up uranium enrichment jeopardizes a 2015 accord with world powers, Germany's Foreign Minister Heiko Maas said yesterday. Maas also addressed tensions with NATO ally Turkey over its incursion into Syria after President Donald Trump's abrupt withdrawal of U.S. forces there. He said it is important that all NATO members act as partners. He added that the EU should speak with a common voice on issues related to the United States, China, and Turkey. And finally, the Tam Luang Cave in Thailand, which was the site of an elaborate rescue mission last year to extract 12 boys and their soccer coach, is now open to the public as a tourist attraction. The daring, almost impossible mission to save the Wild Boars soccer team and their coach grasped the interest and imagination of the whole world. The cave complex was previously closed to tourists due to safety concerns and restoration efforts. But on Friday, part of it was reopened so visitors could gain a sense of the environment where the daring 3-day rescue mission took place. 30 people will be allowed to enter the area at a time, with a maximum capacity of 2,000 people per day. And that's where we leave it for now. Here is Kat with a look at your sports.
And still in the grips of Rugby World Cup fever after winning the 2019 Rugby World Cup, the Springboks will kick off their Champions Tour in Gauteng on Thursday, the 7th of November, making stops in Pretoria, Johannesburg and Soweto. A few team members will be returning from Japan today, including Captain Siya Kolisi and Coach Rassie Erasmus. They are among the first batch arriving at OR Tambo between 4:30 and 4:45 this afternoon. The rest of the team will arrive tomorrow, and over the weekend the team will then be taking their trophy on tour to Durban, East London and Port Elizabeth, and will arrive in Cape Town on Monday. Cannot wait to see the boys. In football news, Cape Town City FC is the latest PSL team to part ways with their coach. The club announced that they have terminated the contract of head coach Benny McCarthy following poor results. McCarthy has left the team with immediate effect after winning only 2 in their last 18 matches. The club has now appointed assistant coach Vasily Mounoussakis as caretaker coach in the meantime. And finally, in tennis news, the 19-time Grand Slam winner Rafael Nadal has returned to the world #1 position for the 8th time in his career after the ATP rankings were released yesterday. This year, Nadal won both the French and US Open titles. Despite winning his 5th Paris Masters title over the weekend, Novak Djokovic will move down to world #2 ahead of 20-time Grand Slam winner Roger Federer. And that's a roundup of the sporting headlines this morning. Right now, let's take a look at your roads.
It's time to look at your traffic this morning. Gauteng, Germiston, there is a vehicle fire on the N3 northbound after the Linksfield exit. One lane is currently blocked and causing heavy delays. Please keep a lookout for this. Western Cape, Khayelitsha on the N2 inbound, there have been 2 accidents between Muirway and Jakesgeveld Drive, obstructing 2 lanes. Please approach with caution. And lastly, Metro Rail Central Line, there is an overhead power failure between Nyanga and Langa, impacting the Central Line train service. Kapteinsklip and Krisani trains are temporarily suspended. Commuters are advised to make use of an alternative mode of transport to and from Cape Town. That's it for your traffic. It's time to look at the weather with Uncle Tabsy.
A 0 fee account with 0 surprises. That's different.
Money. Thank you very much, Kuhle. Let's take a look at your sunrise pictures. Nombulelo, thank you very much for this amazing sunrise from Soweto, where mainly sunny conditions can be expected with high humidity and a northwesterly wind. You can expect that the maximum will be 29 degrees over there. Donald Shaupani sent us his sunrise out in Lesotho, where intervals of clouds and sun can be expected with a thunderstorm in parts, and you can expect that a strong northwesterly wind will be around that area as well, reaching a maximum of 30 degrees. Remember, you can still send us your pictures as well on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3 with the hashtag Expresso Show. And now we take a look at those temperatures across the country, starting off with Polokwane, a low of 15 today, reaching a high of 28. With high humidity out in Mbombela, 16, that's your low, reaching a high of 26. Times of sun and clouds for Pretoria, 16, peaking at 31 degrees. With high humidity out in Johannesburg, 15, that's your low, reaching a high of 29. It's a sunny day out in Mahikeng, 20, that's your minimum, reaching a maximum of 33 degrees. Klerksdorp, 17, reaching a high of 34. If you're out in Kimberley, 19, that's your low, reaching a high of 35. With a couple of showers expected out in Bloemfontein, thunder showers as well there, 16, reaching a high of 34. Richards Bay, 21, reaching a high of 30. With Pietermaritzburg starting off at 20, peaking at 30 degrees. Durban, sun and clouds for you today, 21, reaching a high of 25. With heavy rainfall expected out in Mthatha, 16, reaching a maximum of 35 degrees. A northeasterly wind is expected. It's going at 33 kilometers per hour out in East London. And your temperatures 19, reaching a high of 27, with Craddock at 13 and 39 degrees today. A southwesterly wind, it's going at 20 kilometers per hour. That's for you, Port Elizabeth, 17, reaching a max of 26, with George starting off at 14 and climbing up to high temperatures of 27. And the lowest temperatures in the country today, that's for Sutherland, 11, reaching a max of 26. With the mother city, Cape Town, 15 and 24. Worcester, your low, 14, your high, 32. With Springbok starting off at 11, reaching a maximum of 31 degrees. And the highest temperatures in the country today, that's for sunny Uppington, 19, that's your low, reaching a high of 39 degrees. And that's where we leave it for now. The next update will be in over half an hour. Right now, though, it's time for us to celebrate your birthdays.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Ding, ding, ding. Hey, hey, hey.
It's your birthday and I'll cry if I want. Do you know that song?
No, I don't.
Nah, man.
You're going to teach it to me after this.
I'm going to.
It's about that time to give you, our loyal and loved viewers, and wish you a very happy birthday this morning, Jamie.
Yes, so we're going to start with the first one, which is Gaynor Peterson. A happy 21st birthday to you. May God bless and keep you for us. I hope your parents will spoil you rotten. Enjoy your day from Auntie Gloria and children.
Aww.
So cute, man. And then we move on to a 56th birthday to my brother Sharif Karim from your sister Jasmine. Oh, cute. Look at that.
Look at that.
Oh.
And now it's Joy Basson's birthday. A happy 76th birthday to Joy Basson. May God grant you good health, wealth, and happiness. Lots of love from Val and Vincent. Happy birthday to you. And Noah, from Mommy, Daddy, Auntie, and Menine Bathgates, they wish you a happy birthday to precious Noah. You may only be turning 1, but you have already made such a huge impact in our world. Happy birthday to you, Noah.
First birthday, so cute.
So cute.
And of course, Margail Hess is saying it's my granddaughter's 9th birthday, and I wish you a very happy birthday. Your ma loves you to the moon and back. And then moving along to Vanessa, happy 23rd birthday, my friend. I thank God for a friend he gave me. You are perfect and amazing. May your previous obstacles be flat ground so you can become the best version of yourself. Enjoy your day. And then moving on to Munir Adams, I wish my husband a happy 37th birthday. May Allah grant you all the happiness in life and many more years to come, and stay the lovely husband that you are. Enjoy your day, Munir.
Happy birthday, man. I hope that I pronounced this name right, Jamie.
Ooh,
Fix me,
if
né?
all else fails, you just say Shabara. Shabara.
Rushanique Torrance. Happy 11th birthday to you, my daughter. Have an awesome day and enjoy life to the fullest. I love you lots from Mommy, Zeke, and Monrique. Happy birthday to you. And Gemma, happy 6th birthday to Gemma. May you have a fantastic day. Mommy and Daddy will spoil you rotten. Enjoy your special day from Rashid, Kaylee, and Rakayla.
The next one. Mbalenhle.
Mbalenhle.
Happy 16th birthday to my beautiful angel. Your mom loves you so, so much. And then a 5th birthday goes to Linda Owetu. Here we go. Thank you. Press 1 for English. May God bless you. Enjoy your day. Your gogo loves you very much, Linda.
Pamela Janjis. I wish you...
Pamela.
Kaloku in Xhosa term, you say Pamela. I wish you all the God's richest blessings on your 39th birthday. Stay as sweet and fun as you are, my sissy. Happy birthday to everyone who's celebrating their birthday the 5th of November. If you would like to also send through a 15-second voice note, you can send it through to 071-640-6551 or email us at birthdays@cordova.tv.
And from all of us here at Expresso Studios, happy birthday!
Well, they are legendary, they are iconic, they are timeless. They are Bongo Muffin on your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning. The date to remember, 29th of November, release date of the brand new album from Bongo with Love. Pre-orders are open right now. Go and get it. And this morning we have the privilege of having live performances from Bongo Muffin. Here they are with the first song called Vuma. Yeah! Bongo Muffin on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Boom up, baby, boom up. Listen, you can catch them on tour. Are you going to be... You're going to be on tour with the album, of course.
A lot.
Yes. Somebody is watching actually from Lesotho saying they can't wait to see you there.
We are coming to Lesotho. 2021.
21st of December.
21st of December. And then where else?
We're going to Vaal, we're going to Durban, we're doing...
Listen, I tell you what, we'll catch you up on all of those details later on. What you need to remember, though, is November 29th, release date. Pre-orders are open now. Go and get them on iTunes or everywhere. It's called From Bongo with Love. Brand new music from Bongo Muffin on your Feel Good Breakfast show, baby. Puma! Puma! Why is that for me?
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to it. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso live right here on SABC3 on this beautiful Tuesday. Now, social media is a big part of our lives, and it has, of course, connected the whole world. It's brought us cute cat videos, but it's also broken down human interactions and really created an unhealthy space for cyberbullying, which all has a negative effect on our mental health. Now, recent studies have suggested that social media can be as addictive as drugs and alcohol, and it's one of the biggest causes of depression and anxiety. And here to shed some light for us this morning on the effects of social media on your mental health, please welcome multimedia health specialist Dr. Darren Green, educational psychologist Lamise Gassant, and founder of mysociallife.com, Dean Makubri. Lady and gents.
Good morning.
Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
So good to have you here.
Absolutely, man. I mean, we are avid social media users. We are always on there. And sometimes we comment on things that perhaps to some people we shouldn't, or to an extent we shouldn't. And I know that a number of studies have found an association between social media use with depression, sleep problems, eating issues, and increased suicide risk. How does this come about?
I think one of the big things to consider is the human brain loves reward. And when you become addicted to anything, no one willfully becomes addicted to anything. You start off just by trying it out for the first time.
Yes.
And then what happens is obviously you get a certain influx of endorphins and neurotransmitters, like dopamine, for example, where you're rewarded for something you put out there.
Yeah.
So having a like and a friend has positive emotional connotation.
Yeah.
And that then evokes, obviously, a lot more of a positive response. And if you're not careful and put down boundaries, that's when you end up in a bit of trouble.
Someone's probably sitting at home and going, oh, but it's just social media, it's just Facebook, it's just Instagram. We post pictures that are nice, we like and comment on them. But how exactly does social media affect your anxiety levels and your self-esteem?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. I like the chemical aspect that you just brought in now, but then there's also adrenaline. And there's also the fear center in the brain. So if you're going on certain sites, and Dean probably knows more about that, where there's horrible images. And the fear center is activated. So now you're filled with this adrenaline, you can't switch it off. And so when you're going to sleep at night, you now have fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And that manifests in sleeplessness and also anxiety. And so you feed that. And so you're adrenaline fueled all the time. It will affect your learning, it will affect your interactions with people. So you're just on edge all the time.
But we're only not just seeing pretty pictures on social media. I mean, it's a whole day of stories. We're seeing horrific car accidents. We're seeing pictures of dead people, children being abandoned. It's a lot.
And I mean, based on that, based on also what you just said now, it does disrupt your sleeping patterns. Would you then link that to depression and anxiety?
I think it's like extremely complex. With what we do, we are in schools, we're teaching grade 4 to 11 learners. We teach them 10 different hours of social media and online safety training. And I think sleep does play a component. I think when you're worn down, essentially you can feel a little thin and feel a little sensitive. But I think also we need to understand about the age appropriation of content. You know, so they are seeing things in the news feed which does kind of cause problems with respect to fear and so on. But actually self-esteem, self-worth is a huge problem. I think that's kind of one of the greatest proponents of what we see, is that people are comparing their lives, they're wanting other things that people have, which means you always feel like you're falling short. And if you always feel like you're falling short, you're trying to kind of climb out of that hole, or you're hoping to be more than you were and you realize that you're not. And it just feels like, how am I? It feels a little hopeless sometimes. It's one of the things that they report the most in our program. They say it's called a toxic mirror, that as you look at the phone, it reflects back to you what you're not. And that doesn't help with anxiety and self-esteem.
It's not always realistic.
It's intense. It's really intense, because when we're posting tweets, when we're posting our pictures, for us it is what it is. But most people live on those likes and live on those comments. You know?
It destroys mindfulness. So you're not in your own life, in your own world there. You're distracted by living through someone else.
Exactly.
Well, it is Health Tuesdays here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. We're chatting social media and the effects on social media on your health. And when we come back, part 2 of our conversation with Dean Makobri, Lamiz Kasant, and of course Dr. Darren Green, we're looking at relationships and how social media affects relationships, but also social media and children. It's a very important one. So connect with us on our social media. It's Expresso Morning Show SABC3. We want to hear from you. Comments, questions, the works.
Oh, wow, we are going deep. Make sure that you take care of yourself first. You know, social media is us. We are social media, so make sure to take care of home first. And this morning, we're also discussing how exercise can relieve stress, boost your mood, and soothe discomfort related to your body's nerve damage. So let's check this out.
Now, sometimes our diet and lifestyles can lead or can make it more difficult to get enough energy and enough of certain nutrients in our body, which is exactly why the deficiency of certain vitamins can develop. And luckily, we're joined this morning once again by Dr. Fourie, and he's here to discuss exercise and how it can relieve stress, boost your mood, and soothe discomforts related to your body's nerve damage, which can be caused, of course, by the deficiency of certain nutrients and vitamins, as we've learned over the past couple of weeks. So the relationship between exercise and vitamin B deficiency. Let's start by breaking down the conversation here.
So what I love about exercise is everybody thinks exercise is good for you.
But it
what
is?
I know.
What do you mean?
How? So exercise is amazing. But the funny thing about exercise is, first, in order to stimulate our bodies and to grow our bodies, we actually have to put them under stress. This is why when you exercise, your heart rate goes up, your muscles start to ache and burn, your body starts to build up acid, it starts to increase the circulation speed and the oxygen, and this is where your B vitamins come in.
Okay.
So you might have felt sometimes when you're riding a bicycle that you get cramps, or when you're doing an exercise you start to lose sensation in your fingers, you get pins and needles in your hands, you want to flick your hands, and joggers will often get that they get pins and needles. So this is a repetitive motion that's actually using up some of these nutrients, and your body just can't get the oxygen, can't get the blood, and can't get the nutrients, specifically the B vitamins. But exercise hurts our bodies. Our bodies therefore have to grow and heal. They need nutrients and they need B vitamins to do it.
Oh, there we go. So
but
obviously
I've got to do it.
Yeah, but exercising without replenishing those nutrients leads to a deficiency of those.
Then you actually end up hurting your body, so that you start to train on a body that hasn't recovered. Now you can actually start to generate disease.
Oh my word.
One of my sort of weirdest comments to my patients who come in with fatigue is, stop exercising. Focus on your nutrition, focus on your sleep. Take a supplement of sorts so that we can restore, rebuild, heal, then go and start slow.
Okay. So when we look at specifically vitamin B deficiency as it relates to certain risk groups, and diabetics being one of them, let's talk about how it is that they are affected, this particular...
Diabetics just have
type 1 and type 2.
more difficult. Sorry, this. So the type 1 is the patient who's been a diabetic since they were children, so they've been 10 or 11 11 when they were diagnosed, and they often end up in hospital, and we find that there's no insulin in the body, and they have to have the injectable form of it. They actually end up, funny enough, being better off than the type 2 diabetic who's diagnosed late in life, much later, as old as 50 or 60, who probably has had the disease for 10 years before he's even diagnosed. This disease process has been building up in them for 10 years easily. And just the right nutrients having been taken in that time before the sugar actually changes could have possibly, here's the big one, avoided, stopped that problem developing at all.
Would exercise then in some way, if managed properly with the correct intake of the vitamins and nutrients you need, be supportive of a diabetic then?
Oh, without doubt, without doubt. So the other thing about diabetic is often dependent on medication, so insulin being one. I'm taking a shot of this once a day, twice a day, after every meal, which is not really how my body works. So in other words, there's often you find that the diabetic patient is over-treating himself for that time because he doesn't know. He's looking at the meal, thinks, okay, I need this much insulin for that meal. Sometimes it's enough, sometimes it's too little, sometimes it's too much. Something in your body's got to make up the difference of that. And this, again, comes to your adrenal gland and your nutrients, which are trying to bring the balance. So getting stuff circulating through a diabetic's body. His biggest threat is his heart and his kidneys. This is where he needs blood and he needs oxygen. And the nutrients are doing that for him.
So with that in mind then, how much exercise should one be doing and what types of exercise should you be doing then?
So the World Health Organization prescribes 150 minutes of cardio type exercise, so movement. But we find this is very individual. So if the average patient that I suggest goes and does 150 minutes, so 45 minutes a couple of times a week, it's like no. So the interesting thing about vitamins is that when the patient has energy, when the patient's nutrients and B vitamins are adequate, they feel like exercising. So little interesting segue, or sort of the other side of the coin, is that sometimes you don't feel like exercising.
You're tired and you just, there's no motivation.
Try and get someone like you in this, not normally, but with that attitude, try and motivate you to exercise. All you hear is blah, 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 are we nearly finished? So when I restore energy, I find my patients looking for opportunities to be active, looking for ways to eat healthier, looking for ways to avoid the food that actually hurts their bodies. So wellness feeds itself. And almost the reverse is true. Disease feeds itself. It becomes very sort of cyclical. You sink into it. This is the thing, is sometimes if you can't exercise, if you feel I'm too lazy, I haven't got time, then start with the nutrients. Start with the replenishing. Start with water. You might surprisingly find that you sleep a bit better. And you might surprisingly find that tomorrow you're looking for something to do.
Wow.
How's that?
Wow. Be well, Dr. Fourie. It's been great having these conversations with you, man. Wow. So as they say, be active, go out there, because good things come to those who sweat. That is the saying.
Well, they say good things come to those who sweat. We're not breaking much of a sweat this morning here. Sam is in the house. We're getting into a bit of a yoga pose. It is Health Tuesday. It's about vitality and health and finding that balance between all the things that you do in your life, that you get up to, right?
And this is tough to balance in, let me tell you.
Yeah, it looks easy, but it's not. It's all happening after the break right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And then our conversation with Dr. Dan Green and the gang on the effects of social media around your health and your mental health in particular. We continue with that. We'll see you later.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show. This is a Tuesday, not just any Tuesday, it's a Health Tuesday where we're talking about everything social media related, and we are joined by our experts in studio today.
We've got Dean McCubry as well as Lamise Gassant, and of course our multimedia health specialist Dr. Darren Green in the house. So of course this conversation is ongoing, lots of interest being piqued on social media, believe it or not. But what are the effects of social media on children specifically, and does it affect boys more than it does girls, or is it the other way around?
Yeah, there are different aspects. I think we can touch on both of them, but I think the first one is to understand that the frontal lobe, the development of the brain, is not fully developed in a young child. And that means the ability to discern between right and wrong, the ability to obviously know when to have inhibition, to say, that's not good for me, I must put it off or deviate or change, is not developed yet. Thus, the need for parents to constantly repeat instructions, repeat guidelines, repeat values that you want to instill in your children over a period of time. Dean was saying something about the difference in genders.
Yeah, I mean, some of the data shows that girls are 35% more likely in order to experience something difficult. I actually believe that, you know, between the ages of 6 to 18, depending on when your children are online, there is some inevitability around being tricked or catfished or fished or flamed or trolled or whatever there may be. All these different terminologies, all the things that can happen to you online, I think there's an inevitability. But for girls, they say that it's a 35% greater likelihood or kind of more frequency, simply because of the nature that they're actually, at certain ages, they feel a little bit more advanced than boys. They're a little bit more aware. They're a little bit more in tune. And also they are kind of analysing, you'll speak to this more, but they're analysing themselves a little bit more. And it plays to this thing of a toxic mirror, that you're checking yourself saying, gosh, am I, you know, why do I not look like this? Why am I not, you know, dressed like this, and so on.
But I mean, I just want to expand on that a little bit with regards to what parents, the roles that parents can play, you know, when it comes to red flags they need to look out for when it comes to social media for, from their teenagers. Like, are there physical pains or effects? How does it work?
Before we come to that, can we just say a little bit, are girls more affected than boys? So yes, I believe the research, but interestingly, in my practice, most of my clients are boys. So I have a 7-year-old, I told you, who throws a movie tantrum when his mother takes the iPad or the smartphone away from him. And the only way they can get him to do his homework or to do even a chore around the house is to bribe him with time, with the iPad or the smartphone. And then I also see a lot of grade 4s, 11-year-old boys who exhibit signs of anxiety also and aggression. And if you go a little bit deep into their life, worlds are so small, they have no hobbies, they don't belong to any clubs. So, you know, they're spending a lot of time behind closed doors on social media.
And as a result, the phone becomes the outlet, becomes the club, becomes their universe.
And parents are really busy, so they're not supervising the time or the content, which will lead us obviously to a discussion where we look at what can we actually do as parents.
I mean, those are the red flags, I suppose, that you, as a parent, you need to look out for.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something really interesting. I went to a very interesting gaming talk, and they'd brought both the parents and the children together, and they got them to talk to each other. And the parents said, this is what I want you to understand about how I feel about what it looks like when you're gaming. And then the kids looked to their parents and they said, well, this is what you need to understand for me about what it's like when you don't understand anything about gaming, because for me, like, gaming is just as much of a social network. And they were saying, this is my community. Where else do I find like-minded individuals? I'm not saying that it's acceptable. I'm saying, they are saying, I belong here and I feel comfortable here, even when sometimes they don't, because they're being abused online. There's quite a lot of abuse and bad language in gaming, and lots of bullying and so on. And violence. Violence. and so in that, but it was very interesting to hear them talk, to say, if you can understand that this is our community and we want to be in it, and when you take us away from it, I throw a big tantrum, or if you take me away from the chemical that I'm getting. And so it is about parents offering great alternatives, good rewards for not just iPads, for you know, nature, creativity, play, time together. They say the lap is better than an app for the young.
I love that.
I love that.
Absolutely.
So I think time time is the thing. You were talking about sometimes the absence of parents is a huge challenge. And this problem is only going to be solved with the kids being trained, with the teachers being trained, and with the parents being trained.
Here's the key takeout for me from this entire conversation, this bit of conversation we've just had here, is that it's not a young people's problem.
Yeah.
It's everybody's problem. Social media, the effects of it, the negative effects of it, they affect everyone, adults as well as children, and both adults and children can be guilty of you know, sort of missing the mark there. Let us know what you think on social media. Expresso Morning Show SABC3 with the hashtag Expresso Show. Kat, you're ready with some fitness over there?
I am indeed, and if the truth be told that the lap is better than the app, then I guess the stretch is better than the tech. I don't know if that works. Anyway, I'm with the yoga guru Sam Vietri this morning, back in studio to help us do a yoga core flow routine that's aimed at strengthening your core and your back, two of the most important parts of keeping you stable and keeping you moving correctly. And the best part of this is that you can actually do this in the comfort of your very own home. So if you can maybe back up the chairs and the tables around you, get off the couch, take off your shoes like I have. You can stay in your socks or your PJs, whatever you find yourself in right now. And join us. Sam, great to have you back.
Nice to be back.
Looking forward to it. All right, so let's get started with the yoga core flow routine.
So we're going to start at the top of the mat. You're going to have your feet hip distance. On your next inhalation, your arms are going to rise. Nice and soft in the shoulders. Exhale to bend the knees. Hinge forward, fingertips down, relax the head. Inhale just to gently look forward, opening your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, find plank. Draw your heels back, gentle squeeze of the bum. Exhale, you're going to take a high to low push-up. Inhale, open up, find upward facing dog. Exhale here, drop the knees, engage the belly, press the hips back, find child's pose. Nice length in the arms, soften the back of the head, the neck. Take a deep breath in, you're going to rise to a neutral tabletop. Hands are underneath shoulders, knees under hips.
Okay.
On your next inhalation, you're going to lift your bum, gentle drop of the belly, open up the chest. Exhale as you tuck and ripple and roll. Press it all under. Inhale to lift the tailbone, drop the belly, the chest, open up. Cat-cow. Exhale, tuck. Press it back, feel the belly engage. Last time, inhale, lift the belly, the chest. Exhale, tuck it under. Inhale to a neutral tabletop. You're gonna tuck both toes under and slide the left leg back.
Okay.
Squeeze the left bum cheek. And then as you inhale next, you're gonna raise the right arm. Feel the engagement of the belly and the breath. Next inhale, you're gonna lift that left leg off the earth. Firm press into the left hand. Exhale, crunch the knee and the elbow towards the midline. Inhale, lengthen through the spine from fingertips to toes. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, lengthen, final time. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, lengthen forward and back. Exhale, plant the hand, plant the foot. Step back, find plank. Exhale, elbows together. Inhale, rise. Exhale, drop the knees, engage your belly. Press your hips back. Child's pose.
This is the relaxing part of the workout where you just get to breathe a little bit.
This is the place where you find your breath. Inhale to lift. Tabletop, tuck the toes, draw the left foot back, lift the foot. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to draw the knee in towards the chest and then step forward. Plant the foot, untuck the right toe, squeeze the bum, inhale, arms to rise. Soften the shoulders, soften the gaze. Keep squeezing the bum, gently tucking tailbone under. Nice deep breath in.
I'm squeezing, Tandiswa.
Exhale, you can hinge it forward. Plant the hands, untuck the toes, lift. Step back, plank. Heels back, gentle squeeze of the bum. Exhale, elbows to squeeze.
All I'm thinking about is squeezing.
Inhale to open. Nice activation.
Yeah.
Drop the knees. Draw the hips back.
Okay, well, we're going to carry on with our yoga core flow routine here. Hope you're enjoying it at home. And just take another few more breaths in this child pose just to find my inner child.
Yoga is supposed to be
They
playful.
say good things come to those who sweat. It looks like Ket has definitely broken a sweat there. As for me, I've taken a note or two around how to actually do
Absolutely.
some yoga poses. Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you, Kat. Okay, guys, so the conversation is ongoing. Social media, the effect of it on our relationships, on children, on parents.
Yes.
But we've got our own relationship dynamic with social media in this very house, this household. Jamie Lee?
I want to find out, actually. We want to know who do you think, of all the presenters right here, is the most on social media or uses the most, who uses their phone the most? So,
no, but why are both of you looking at me? Because Tabiso is number one.
No.
And everyone here can
No. I will actually back you up, my friend. I will blame you, Kutle, because you're always tweeting in the morning, tweeting in the afternoon, tweeting in the... Yes.
I'm making sure people are up to date.
So that's you.
Definitely you.
Yeah.
I think I need to get one of those parent apps that monitors and I can turn off your data remotely. See you guys in a bit. After that, the conversation continues, so please do connect with us. Expresso Morning Show SABC3 on Facebook. Questions, comments for our experts here where we talk about mental health and social media.
Guess what? Courtesy of Dion Wired, we have new prizes for you. Up for grabs is an Epson printer and Samsung tablet bundle, a Nintendo Switch Lite, and a super stylish Smeg toaster and kettle combo. Simply SMS the keyword Dion Wired, your name and email address to 33728 to win. Plus, when you SMS in, you are entered into the grand prize draw to win a Tech Dash in a Dion Wired worth 100,000 Rand. Winning has never been so easy.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yeah, welcome back to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso live on SABC3 Health Tuesdays, and we're discussing the effects of social media on our mental health. It works across the board, children and adults, and how this works into the family structure and our family dynamic. We've asked you to connect with us on social media, and you have. Rosemary sent us a comment. Rosemary says you can see the people who are addicted to social media in all places, like restaurants. Can't even have a meal without being on their phones. How true is this? This is so true, isn't it?
Absolutely.
We've all seen it. Rosemary, that's absolutely correct. So do connect with us on social media. That hashtag is Expresso Show. Let us know those red flags when you know that someone's got a bit of a problem with social media or simply cannot get their eyes or their hands off their phone. But of course, our conversation continues with our experts. It's Dean Lamiza as well as Dr. Darren Green over here. So there's a lot to delve into where this conversation is concerned.
Exactly. And there are so many social media platforms. There's YouTube, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, there's TikTok. All of these things. I mean, is there one platform in particular that is worse than the other?
So each platform represents kind of a different problem or a different difficulty. So TikTok now is the largest growing app in the world. It's the third most downloaded app in the App Store. It has 500 million users. And so for teens, they spend a huge amount of time on that. And just to explain what that is, it's almost like short skits, videos, dances, kind of singing, so on. And it's just, you kind of get lost in it. There's not a huge amount of harm in it, apart from when strangers want to contact you because people have very open accounts. And then, of course, you've got YouTube, which can take take you down a bit of a rabbit hole by clicking on certain things, and then you get into other related videos down the side, and suddenly you find yourself kind of finding yourself in a warren of either pornography or horror movies or something like that. In terms of Instagram, there's a lot of issues around self-esteem, particularly because it's always shining back this other aesthetic, this snapshot of somebody else's life. So actually, it's about each of the different apps represent something that is a little bit difficult. They, you know, different components of psychology and risk. I think for parents, one of the really key things that they can do is to set up a monitoring system on their child's device, depending on the age. The older ones don't want to be monitored, and that's going to be up to you. But they can do that very simply by either downloading the app, Screen Time, or actually going into the Apple settings. Just click on the little settings thing and then look at Screen Time there, and you can set up family sharing. So what you can do is you can put in your child's name, and then you can see, 3 hours on TikTok. I'm going to check you out. Or alternatively, there's another app which is very famous around the world called Custodio, which actually allows you to control the app, where you can choose when their downtime must be. You can shut their phone off or their iPad off, and you can put limitations on certain apps and so on. So both Screen Time and Custodio are excellent tools. Sorry, the final thing I just wanted to say, also in settings, is privacy. So if you go into your phone and you look at settings and just find the word privacy, when you click it, it will show that you can shut down location settings. So your children can't be found wherever they may be. It can shut down their photographs so they can't be shared. Shut down their microphone so that their voice notes and things and those types of things can't be scraped. These are all sitting very easily inside settings. Just go through it and work your way through.
That means can I just be a bit naughty? So a parent like me or a grandparent like me, we're not tech savvy. It's best just to cut the umbilical cord. You know, teenagers, the charger, that's the new umbilical cord.
So you're going to cut the charger?
No, I'm just going to disconnect it because I'm not going to be able to go into and do all those apps. But I'm just going to take that charger because then I'm actually, figuratively,
simple solution.
cutting the umbilical cord.
No power, no play.
No power. They all love that. No power, no play.
I like it a lot. Liz, you get to interact a lot with families, so you get to meet a lot of parents who come in who may have problems with their children's screen time. You don't want this to be a punishment. You don't want the conversation between parent and child around social media used to be like a punishment, because, you know, children will rebel against that. What is your advice? What's the first step a parent needs to take? How do you introduce the conversation of screen time and how we must interact together as a family?
It's actually quite a complex situation. Because, as Dr. Darren said, children learn what they see. So if they see parents on their digital devices all the time, whether it's your laptop, your smartphone, because that's what parents are doing. And so they wanted the psychologist to fix the child. But actually, it's not.
The root.
The root. And so when you mirror their behavior back to them, and say, you actually need to set the example. So if you want, if you want smart children, then you have to be a star parent. And the S will then stand for set the limits and set the example. So they need to see that you're not on your device all the time. And one of the things is mealtime should be sacred. There should be no digital devices. And as that one viewer found in, say, people are eating, but they're not looking at each other. They're just looking down. It's like they're sucked into that fantasy world. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. So parents need to start with themselves.
Final words, Dr. Darren Green, before we close this one, so parents can go implement right now. They're itching to go do it now.
Lead by example. Children do what you do, not what you tell them to do. And set those boundaries in your own life, and that will spill over into your family.
But absolutely, final for now. We've got one more session with our experts, right?
Absolutely, man. I mean, I'm actually very enlightened, and I hope that you parents at home and also the teenagers watching, that you're as enlightened as well. We're talking all things health and social media. So hit us up on social media at Expresso Show on Twitter.
We're going to be looking at the positive effects of social media when we come back.
Oh, yes.
Clover Good Hope Soy Milk. Soy goodness naturally. Made with love by Clover.
Made with love by Clover.
Well, it's getting hot in here and hot outside, which means one thing. Every one of us wants to get summer body ready. And the best way to start, the best place to start, breakfast. So today we're making a delicious and nutritious Clover Good Hope tropical inspired overnight oats, and a great way to start off your day when you prepared it the night before and it's soaked up all of the goodness. The oats have soaked up all of the goodness and the nutrients of our wonderful Clover Good Hope soy milk, and then the next day it's as easy as popping the rest of these ingredients on, and then you can enjoy for breakfast. Simple and easy.
And I mean, you need that because you just had like a hot yoga session.
That was,
so it's going to be
hot. These lights are crazy.
It is.
When you're doing yoga in here. All right, but let's get started,
Okay,
yeah?
so we're going to start off with oats. Some nice oats right into the bowl over here.
And I really enjoy the oats with the massive flakes. The bigger the flakes, the better for me.
The bigger the flakes. And then we're going to throw in some fruits as well, some mango pieces.
Good.
So nice and chewy as well. Very good. I love mango.
Yeah,
I love mango.
yeah, exactly.
That's like my summer fruit as well. And then some almond butter. I'm sure you can use any butter, but I think for this one we're using some almond butter. It's nice and sticky, sticky, sticky.
There we go.
Putting it right in there. Do you like almond butter?
I do. I actually have almond butter in my oats whenever I just like have oats, hot water, almond butter kind of thing.
Like nice and sticky, so like.
Exactly.
And then some vanilla essence goes right in here.
Good stuff. And then what else?
And then the chia seeds. Now, I'm not really a fan of this. Because, no, I don't know.
How come?
I don't know. It's just not like I'm very over texture. So if it feels like crunchy or funny in my mouth, and it's always like a.
See, but these ones do something different. As soon as you add liquid to them, they expand and they almost have like a gel-like membrane around them, so you don't get the crunch as much. And like a healthy amount like that, once it gets into your stomach and expands, it makes you feel fuller for a longer time.
So maybe I'll be like open-minded to trying this because we are going to be using the Good Hope soy milk. So soy milk is still vegan?
It is.
It is, yes.
It is vegan-friendly. It's naturally lactose-free. Also, it means it won't leave you bloated or suffering from any kind of stomach pains. It's cholesterol-free and preservative-free. As I said, vegan-friendly and a tasty dairy alternative that's smooth and richly textured milk. So you're gonna mix that in, right?
Yes. So half a cup of soy milk goes right in, and of course this is going to be overnight so that it's nice and soft, and then we are going to mix it in.
Yeah. And exactly what you want when you leave it overnight to soak is that it's going to, or the oats is going to absorb all of that beautiful soy milk and the wonderful properties that it has. So you leave that over in the fridge, comes out the next day looking a little something like this. And then in the morning, to add your finishing touches, we're going to add some coconut cream over here.
Ooh, and you said you like coconut cream, right?
I do. I like a lot of things coconut.
Coconut.
So right over there, we'll just have a little layer. So you can SMS the keyword Clover to 33728. We'll send you a link to the recipe as well as a list of the ingredients. You've got some coconut flakes here.
Yeah, and I mean, you can use any fruit. Like, you don't have... If strawberries, you want to put in some strawberries, any other butter, you can just go in there and just be a vibe for the breakfast.
We've got some
mango.
More mango pieces. As you said, it's your favorite?
Yes, love mango.
This is a good way to go with it. And then...
kiwi.
Phoenix's favorite.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yay.
He loves kiwi fruit.
So we'll take some for him. We'll keep him a slice. By the time you get home, it will be like...
you. I'm trying to make it look as pretty as possible. That's quite nice.
It's pretty, yeah.
And then what I'll do, I'm actually going to take some of the coconut cream and just sprinkle some more of it on top, just like... Just to make it look extra.
Some coconut bay there on top. Sprinkle the... Yummy!
There we go. So SMS the keyword Clover to 33728, and there you have it. Nice, simple, and easy as you like it. Let's quickly show you how we made it, even though it was that easy.
With summer knocking on your door, it's time to get back into tip-top shape. Start your day with Clover Good Hope Overnight Oats. Add 1 tablespoon of chia seeds to half a cup of rolled oats. Add half a cup of chopped mango, 1 tablespoon of almond butter, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and half a cup of Clover Good Hope soy milk. And mix to combine. Cover the oats and pop into the fridge overnight. Serve with a dollop of coconut cream, half a chopped kiwi, and toasted coconut flakes. Packed with nutrition and goodness, make this your go-to breakfast solution for a healthy start to your summer every day.
Made with love by Clover.
Yeah, made with love for the whole family. SMS Clover to 33728. And as simple as that, you've got a nutritious and healthy breakfast to get you summer ready. Huh? Would you like to have a little taste?
Easy peasy mango squeezy. See what I did there? See what I did there?
I do. Cheers to your health.
Yes.
There we go. I'm going to just dig right in there, get through all those coconut pieces. Yeah, this is the fun way. Now you got to try and... Oh, yeah. That's great. What's the keyword again?
The keyword is clover to 33728. So make sure that you SMS, you can get all of this delicious that we are trying right here.
So good!
Clover Good Hope Soy Milk. Soy goodness naturally. Made with love by Clover.
Made with love by Clover.
Science reaches for the truth. It works for the big and small, for the old and young. And with knowledge as our first ingredient, science is at the heart of our food. For differences you can see, feel, and trust. It all starts with science.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso. Before the break, we were talking about all things social media and the negative effects that it has on us and also our mental health. But right now, it's time for part 4 of the conversation, and we're looking at the lighter side of social media, the more positive side, right?
Well, you know, the more positive side, absolutely. But I think we live in a world, for sure, that we know that acceptance and approval from others seems to be quite important, and it can weigh heavy on people, though, at the same time. And there's a concept of a digital detox. What exactly is a digital detox, guys? And when should we be taking one? When do you do it? On the weekends, at night, in the afternoon, in the morning?
I think one of the big things is we invite this guest into our home in the form of the tech product. We bring it in, we give it a place at the dinner table. We sleep with the tech right next to us. And we even take the tech into the bathroom with us, etc. So in terms of digital detox, the role of that person, that thing becomes so important in our lives that it supersedes the meaningful, actually 3D relationships that you have of making contact with people, learning, growing as a person. And I think that's where the detox comes in. So just, you know, you need to give your body and your brain a chance to rejuvenate and to reprioritize things that are actually sometimes even more important than information as such in getting where you need to be. how you feel.
Yeah. Now, Tabisa, that's such a beautiful question to ask. Research shows that you need to switch off your digital devices at least 2 hours before you go to sleep.
Can you do
so that your brain waves can get...
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. Or even if you're just watching television, they say, especially for children, that they not watch television 2 hours before they go to sleep. So now you're preparing the brain to shut down and cool down, and then it's easier to fall asleep. And so how often should we detox from a mental wellness point of view? And mental wellness is not just about the absence of illness, it's about how much joy you actually have in your life.
Yes.
Then you need to detox on a regular basis. So if you're doing it an hour or two before you go to bed every night, that's a good start. But once a week, as Dean said earlier, a lap is better than an app. So when we go out to nature, so just walking in nature is like taking a bath in the forest.
Yeah.
And if you want to be, I grew up I'm a hippie. So we hug trees. Just to smell the earth, to feel the ground. It really helps to ground you and focus you. And if you're doing that with family and friends, you're even strengthening the social connection before you open the app.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
I mean,
detox weekly.
Weekly? Can you do that? 2 hours before sleep?
Absolutely.
We'll try it out tonight.
Tonight is the night.
Are you sure? Don't be leaving it here. I'm not sure.
It's the belief in the eyes.
The belief.
But I mean, we've been focusing so heavily on the negative when it comes to social media. With technological innovations happening, what are the positive sides to it?
So I think, you can go for it.
Okay. I mean, one of the modules that we're teaching in schools is around the potential within the fourth industrial revolution, which is essentially where we are now. You know, our kids that are in schools are really the kind of first crew that are going to be coming out now in the fourth industrial revolution, looking at robotics and coding and artificial intelligence. And I think there is huge potential. And I think that the workplace is going to be incredibly competitive. And I view it like this, that if we understood that with our kids, that in order for them to have their phone, which by the way should be your phone, and if for them to have data, which should be your data, then they need to almost take a little bit of that time online and to be able to use it to look at something that inspires them, that is creative, something that connects with them personally, not just pure social entertainment, mind-numbing kind of stuff. And so we need to say to them, look, of course you can have your phone, but we need to make sure that you're connecting, maybe connecting with a grandparent via Skype, or just more meaningful things.
The three of you,
what's great about it.
That is fantastic. So many good things to come out of it. The three of you have the world to save. So before we let you go, Dean, please tell us quickly about mysociallife.com.
We
are the
are
platform that you run.
Yes, thank you. We are a digital life skills program which operates in schools. We offer 10 one-hour lessons in schools. We cover things like critical thinking, digital identity, privacy, security, empathy, resilience, all those types of things. And we also train teachers, parents, and we help some mental health professionals, but I don't need to. Because she should be on board with me. That's
fantastic. Well, it's My Social Life with one L, mysociallife.com. And of course, thank you so much, Dean Lamise. Thank you very much, Dr. Darren Green. Thank you so much. What an enlightening Tuesday conversation to have. And this conversation continues on our social media platforms. We'd still like to hear from you. Right now, though, it's time for Kat with the news.
The time just gone 8 o'clock, and here's a last look at your headlines this morning. On the national front, the rand and government bonds have improved after rating agency Moody's kept the country's last investment-grade credit rating unchanged. To go with this, Moody's said a credible budget statement in February would be crucial to maintain the current rating. Meanwhile, the Western Cape Ministry of Environmental Affairs has called on consumers and visitors to the province to implement responsible water use in the coming months, regardless of the levels of dams in any particular area. On the international front, 8 Ugandan journalists were detained yesterday for marching in the Ugandan capital of Kampala to protest what they said were police abuses, including beatings and detentions during coverage of the protest or the student protests. The alleged abuses took place for several days at Uganda's largest public university, Makerere. Now, Iran's announcement that it has developed advanced machines to speed up uranium enrichment jeopardizes a 2015 accord with world powers, Germany's Foreign Minister Heiko Maas said yesterday. And finally, returning from Japan, where he experienced the elation of the Springbok team winning the Webb Ellis Trophy, President Cyril Ramaphosa has shared an open letter with his fellow South Africans. He said the sight of the Springbok captain Siya Kolisi lifting the cup at the Yokohama Stadium on Saturday filled him with great pride. Siya's captaincy is the power of a dream fulfilled, a dream of a young man of humble beginnings to one day wear the green and gold, and of a country that has enabled him to see it realized. South Africans have rallied around the victory in Japan, but says the president that they are also united by a shared desire for a country where all can live in peace and comfort, where all have an equal chance to achieve their potential. Well, on that note, let's take one last look at the sporting headlines. Well, we're still all about the Rugby World Cup, and after winning the 2019 Cup in Japan, the Springboks will kick off their Champions Tour in Gauteng on Thursday, the 7th of November, making stops in Pretoria, Johannesburg and Soweto. A few of the squad members are expected to return to OR Tambo International Airport today. In football news, Cape Town City FC is the latest PSL team to part ways with their coach. The club made the announcement that they have terminated the contract of head coach Benny McCarthy following poor results. And finally, the 19-time Grand Slam winner Rafael Nadal has returned to the world #1 position for the 8th time in his career after the ATP rankings were released yesterday. And that's a roundup of the sports headlines right now. Let's take a look at the roads.
It's time to look at your 8 o'clock traffic this morning. KwaZulu-Natal, Durban. There has been an accident on the N3 eastbound before the Pavilion Mall exit. Heavy delays can be expected from Pinetown. Please approach with caution. In Gauteng, Bedford View on ELM Road westbound, there is congestion between Jara Road and 9th Road. The average traveling speed is 20 kilometers an hour with delays up to 20 minutes. And lastly, Metro Rail Northern Line. There are defective track circuits at Gales River impacting inbound, outbound train service. Please allow for additional travel time of 30 to 40 minutes. That's your travel roundup for this morning. Now it's time for the weather with Tabiso.
Thank you very much, Kusha. We take a final look at your sunrise pictures ahead of looking at your final temperatures across the country. So thank you so much to Vilma Lideman for your sunrise picture from Azerfontein out in the Western Cape. Pulusho Mukomi for your sunrise picture from Pretoria, as well as Nombulelo Gama for your amazing sunrise picture from Soweto. Lastly, Donald Shaupani for your sunrise picture from Lesotho. Such stunning pictures. We wake up bright and early once again tomorrow, and you can get those pictures through to us on Facebook with the hashtag Expresso Show. And now we take a final look at those temperatures across the country. We start off in Polokwane, 15. That's your low today, reaching a high of 28. With high humidity expected out in Mbombela, 16. Your minimum reaching a maximum of 26. If you're out in Pretoria, times of sun and clouds, 16 reaching a high of 31. With high humidity expected for Joburg, 15 reaching a high of 29. Sunny Mahikeng today starts off at 20, reaching that maximum of 33. With Klerksdorp starting off at 17. That's your low, reaching a high of 34. If you're out in Kimberley, 19 is your low, your high is 35. And a couple of showers are expected out in Bloemfontein. Thunder showers I'm talking about, 16 reaching a high of 34. Richards Bay, 21, that's your minimum. Your maximum temperature is 30. With Pietermaritzburg starting off at 20 and peaking at 30 degrees. If you're out in South Africa's playground, Durban, this is for you, 21, your low reaching a high of 25. With heavy rainfall expected out in Mthatha. Thunder showers there, 16 reaching a high of 35. A northeasterly wind, it's going at 33 kilometers per hour. That's for East London, 19 reaching a max of 27. With credit times of sun and clouds today, 13 reaching a maximum of 39 degrees. If you're out in Port Elizabeth, that wind southeasterly is going at 20 kilometers per hour for you, 17 reaching a high of 26. With George starting off at 14, peaking at 27. Lowest temperatures in the country for the day, that's Sutherland, 11 reaching a maximum of 26. The mother city, Cape Town, your temperatures are 15 and a max of 24. If you're out in Worcester, 14 reaching a maximum of 32. With Springboks starting off at 11 and your high today is 31. Times of sun and clouds over there for you. The highest temperatures in the country, Uppington, 19, that's your low, reaching a high of 39 degrees. And that's where we leave it for this morning. No matter what the weather's looking like, it's a Tuesday. You choose to make it a feel-good type of day.
Well, using their music and their voices to address issues that impact the social sphere is exactly what makes up Bongo Muffin and what they are. And this is no different in their latest offering from Bongo with Love, the album releasing on the 29th of November. And we are privileged enough to have the group in studio performing music from the album. And here they are with a song called One Africa.
Yes.
Kugara kufura Africa. Apana nyika yandinoda kuvendiri kufura Africa. Apana nyika yandinoda kufura Africa. I Africa, do mama Africa. There's a party in Africa. Party in Africa. Are you staying? Welcome to Africa, sweet mama Africa. Welcome to Africa, sweet mama Africa. Bona malume wiketa, waitukuta. Bona malume ubayeta, wabatukuta. Lemonade waikete, jwa, lebutufe bolkeketa. Ebari kukutanayo, nehape bare pambom chandayo. Tetuana sare ratom swara, wateba swari samala, swara, lukisa manala. Okay, reka lemo bibi, champagne. Retain a fella hare on the line. Retain a fella hare on the mine. Get hooks the fella hagera the wine. Africa. Are you staying? welcome to Africa. Sweet Mama Africa.
Give it up, Bongo Muffin on your feel-good breakfast show. Imagine that party with all that African superstardom. Wow. Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. So obviously you use the music to, as I said, address a lot of social ills, gender-based violence, the issue of African pride, and all of that.
African unity.
Why is it so important to you to do that through the music?
Well, because we're Africans, so African unity is important to us.
Yeah.
And because I'm a woman and I raise these brothers, I give birth to these brothers, so my well-being is important to the world.
Indeed.
Yeah, man.
I think Africa as the first, African people as the first, what can I say, the first branch of the human family, you know, we need to celebrate that.
Absolutely.
You know, so much of us, so much of who we are has been hidden because of different agendas and one or the other. But one thing we're getting to know and learn is that there would be no life on Earth in terms of humanity if it wasn't for Africa. We don't make BMW, we don't make cell phones like other people make, but we are the first branch of the human family, and that needs to be celebrated.
Yeah, plug into it. November 29th from Bongo with Love, the brand new album dropping. Pre-orders are open now. Let us know what you thought about that performance of One Africa on our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page. We'll see you after the break.
Hey, Bongo Muffin is doing the thing. Someone who's also doing the things is Miss Sasha Lee Olafir. Hello, welcome.
Oh, wow, thank you so much for having me.
You are so, so beautiful, Miss SA World, leading up to it. But we do want to know, what is one beauty tip in the morning that you can absolutely not live without?
You know, being in the industry, I've done so many things. But what I can say is that it's so important to stay hydrated. It just gives your skin that glow. And I think that's just so important, to stay hydrated.
Well, it clearly shows you are glowing, Mama. But of course, she's going to give me some more tips. We'll see you right back after this.
This is it. After weeks of grueling challenges and intense boardroom deliberations, it all comes down to this. Only 3 of the top 5 will win the opportunity of a lifetime when they are declared the winners of the next brand ambassador. Tune in to see the judges' final verdict and find out who will be victorious. Don't miss the grand finale on Thursday, 7th November at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast show. It is a Tuesday morning and it is so good to be in your company. Thanks for joining us at the start of a brand new day. Now, listen to this very awful statistic. 1 in 3 women in South Africa has had some form of unwelcome sexual encounter before the age of 15. That's absolutely horrifying. And while preventing sexual abuse has proven to be quite tricky and challenging, there is a lot of work that is being done and that can still be done to comfort and protect those who have suffered from it.
In fact, that is why we are so glad to be shining a light on the hashtag It's Not Your Fault campaign, which is being championed by Miss World South Africa, Sasha Lee Olivier, who is joining us right now to share some more. Give us some love, everybody! Oh.
Fantastic to have you here with us. Good morning to you.
For having me. I'm so excited to be here. Oh,
excellent.
So excited.
So this is your cause that you, as Miss World South Africa, have chosen to champion, the hashtag It's Not Your Fault campaign. Tell me a bit more about what this campaign endeavours to do and how you decided on this.
You know, if anything, it's a matter of trying to break the chains of silence, shame and fear. So that started by embracing my own story and trying to get people to a place where they do the same. You know, a story, it's a bit tricky to unpack, but it's necessary because our socialization process, our story, what we survive growing up it's what breeds our perpetrators. It's what silences our survivors. And if anything, we need to start asking ourselves these questions. What society or culture are we creating where silence is a safe place for our survivors?
Well, thank you so much for sharing your truth and sharing your own, experience and about all of this. But why is it so important for every person who has been affected by sexual abuse to share their story?
You know, this is an issue that transcends gender. So we need to get to a place where everyone comes to the party, everyone shares their story. And the reason for this is because it's something that's liberating. I think healing starts with speaking out and speaking your truth. And we're very much aware of the fact that it's not the trauma, it's the aftermath. So mental health plays such a critical it's such a critical part of this as well.
Yeah, and so through the hashtag It's Not Your Fault campaign, you are providing packages to survivors of sexual assault. Tell me about what these packages contain and entail and how they endeavour to then help to alleviate, as you've just said now, some of the symptoms of the aftermath.
The aftermath. So, in essence, what we're trying to do is restore the dignity.
Yeah.
You know, in a lot of cases, when post your rape medical kit, you are left in a place where you may not have any underwear on. At the time, that's an essential part of the pack. And what's scary is that a certain part of the pack contains a teddy bear. Now that means that there are kids who are sexually assaulted as well. And it's a very unfortunate reality, but here alone in the Western Cape we have about 1,800 cases per month. And each and every single one of these kids, it would be beneficial for them to have a pack because they need to understand it's not their fault. It starts by us believing them and telling them it's not their fault, because in this pack there too is a note that tells them this. And I think that was so triggering when I first saw it, and it was a moment for me when I realized this is how we should do this. We should tell people it's not their fault. We should liberate them.
Now, you have also enlisted the help of the Angel Network to support you in this campaign. Tell me a bit more about their involvement in making this campaign, successful.
You know, if anything, the great part about this is that there are so many people who are involved. There's so many people who understand that this is necessary, and this is not a cause, this is a crisis. So we walked into a situation where this was already set up. They provided R250,000, which is great, but unfortunately it only lasts a certain amount of time. And they've just been the biggest part in championing this, and I'm so happy to have their support, and I'm so happy to get to a place where we can tackle this together. Because the reality of this is that we need to work together on this. We need to work together on this to solve it.
Yeah. And as you said, I mean, and I think that's poignant that you said that it's not a cause, it's a crisis, because I think that highlights the need for us as a country to hold hands together, not just between the hashtag It's Not Your Fault campaign and the Angel Network, but the greater public in society out there.
Yeah.
So how do we get people, I guess, thinking about this, keeping it top of mind, talking about it, and then acting in helping you achieve the great goal that you have envisioned for this campaign?
You know, a critical part about this is actually having the conversation. This is a very difficult conversation to have. I think it's something that we need to accept. It's something that is a crisis. It's something that's not often spoken about. And the great part about this is that we all play a role. The media plays a role in terms of continuing the conversation. Our Miss South Africa platform, our Miss World platform is something with a legacy that's so far-reaching and meaningful. And you know, they want to go into the dark spaces. They want to solve these issues. But I think it's a matter of people understanding that they don't need a title to lead. You don't need to be in government to govern. It's a matter of contributing your 120 Rand, getting to a place where we at least know that we have one more comfort pack. You know what I do hope that we get to a place where we don't have to use this.
Yeah.
But the unfortunate reality is that it doesn't seem like that is going to be the reality right now. So we need to get to a place where we get to our target, which is raising just above R1 million. Do you know why I don't think it's such a far stretch though? Because 10,000 packs, there's over 50 million people in this country, and it's time that we all stand together on this issue and we start working towards it. The people who started Am I Next? You know, that was a call to action for what's next, and this is one of those things.
Oh, thank you so much. You know, I don't think that people actually say thank you so much, you know. We are so blessed to have you here just to share your story and what you're doing for all these survivors. Now, we also need all survivors out there to know and understand that it really is not your fault. If you'd like to find out more info and donate as little as 120 Rand towards Sasha Lee's campaign, then all you need to do is search Sasha Lee Olivier Welfare Course on backabuddy.co.za, and you can, of course, contribute to this and make sure that you make a change, and it's not your fault.
Such incredible work being done by Sasha Lee Olivier. It's such an important conversation to continue to have, but also to look out for these initiatives that reach out to communities that we may not necessarily be able to reach into or that we may not necessarily be exposed to. But this is a big problem in the country that's happening every single place and everywhere, and we can all do something about it. So do support Sasha Lee Olivier on this.
Absolutely. Sis Princess, you gave me my amazing cappuccino. Absolutely love it with hazelnut.
Yes,
but
Mama.
I know that this past weekend was a nice na.
When's a nice no.
Very nice. Hey, Jonga.
What was happening in Nazareth?
I enjoy myself there with my friends and my family in the beach. We braai there.
Nice.
After the match, wow, it was Kusa.
Yeah, it was Kusa. But what was the most beautiful thing about Nazna for you?
Oh, the beach and the view there, the places. Wow, it's beautiful.
Oh, man, that's the beauty of it, is that there are so many gems across our country, lots and lots of them. In fact, it is Travel Tuesday, so in a bit we're going to be chatting about planning a road trip with your friends locally here in South Africa and all those amazing places and deals with Travel Start, so stick around for that. We'll see you just now.
A taste loved by those who have tried it. McAfee, great coffee, simple. See you after the break.
Save big this week with Dion Wired. Live your best life with the Fitbit Versa 2 for 3,999. Work it up with a Dell Inspiron 2-in-1 laptop for 11,999. Get a Samsung 12-kilogram Eco-Bubble washing machine for a squeaky clean 14,999. Impress with a PlayStation 4 and FIFA 20 for only 8,499. And feel the power with a Samsung Note 10 for 18,999.
We will turn your guilt trips into good trips. Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstar.co.za.
And welcome back to it. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, on this beautiful Travel Tuesday. It's almost the new year, and your car is itching for a lekker road trip to somewhere and nowhere. So get ready to dust off those maps, update your GPS, and make sure that you grab a travel buddy that won't drive you crazy. Travelstar has been all across South Africa on road trips through wild bushveld, along coastlines and across deserts to give us their top South African road trip roundup that you can add to your 2019 short left list. Such an exciting time. We've got Lee Watts from Travelstar joining us this morning. Lee, once again, so good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
I get excited to see you because you only bring good news.
It's good to hear. I'm glad to be here. We only tell good news.
That's it. I love it.
I mean, Usis Princess went to Knysna this past weekend, and we know that in South Africa there are so many other amazing destinations to look out for. What other destinations outside of Knysna should we,
So I think we're going to hedge our bets this time round. I think we're going to go and sell the farm. We're doing Route 62. Known as probably one of the greatest road trip routes in the world. Certainly got the longest wine route in the world, which is pretty interesting. Don't be drinking and driving. That's a disclaimer right there.
Do not do that.
I mean, if you have a consider of the iconic landmarks within these wonderful institutional type villages, places like, Barrydale, Kalitzville. If you have a look at things like Oudtshoorn, these are wonderful, wonderful places where you can pick up things like, I don't know, fauna, flora, oysters, strawberries, cheese, brandy, alpacas, donkeys. I mean, it's experiences that are second to none.
So if you're someone like me who enjoys good wine, who enjoys delicious food, but also likes to see breathtaking landscapes to post on Instagram, what are some of those Insta-worthy landscape areas and routes and places you think we should be checking out?
Well, the whole lot's beautiful. We get more than 9 million visitors visiting our country, and here we are trying to escape it. I mean, how crazy are we?
That's insane.
So if you have a look at my best Instagram tip, I would say consider the seasons. So if you go from the very beginning of spring right through to the end of summer, you're going to get everything from great weather to, flowers in bloom, through to eclectic little relationship-building type conversations.
Love that.
And if you think about, let's say, the way travel value on your memories increases faster than, let's say, said country's economy, I think it's well worth the money regardless what you're spending.
Absolutely. I mean, I know you're going to be out there on your Instagram. Before the break, we were talking about social media and how much you should limit your interactions.
But I'm just sharing the beautiful landscape so I can inspire people to know that nature has all the healing powers that we need, and it's only a road trip away.
And it's only a good photo if you're in it.
As well.
Absolutely. I mean, if the Karoo is considered the heartbeat of South Africa, and then the Garden Route, I would imagine, is the soul of it. I mean, what are some fun things that we can do on a road trip along that route?
There's so many. There are so many. So I just picked some ones that might have sounded slightly controversial in the hope that when I get back to the office, I still have a desk and a computer. So you can go and create and consume pancakes with the Sweaty Dutchman. You can go and learn about beekeeping with Farmer Redbeard. If anybody's ever been anywhere near Barrydale, there's a rather scandalously named Ronnie's shop, which you can go and have a little look at as well. There is so much, you can't do it in one trip.
There is a lot. So the truth is, and the reality, I suppose, for a lot of people is we don't all have wheels that we can hop into and get on the road for this type of road trip. How can Travelstar make our road tripping dreams still come true even with that reality?
So we've always been good at flights, always. Market leader. And what we've really got quite good at is hotels. So accommodation and car rental, transport. So if you go to all the www.travelstar.co.za, have a top left, you'll see all the tabs. Pay some attention to those. You'll start to see we're rolling out some really interesting deals, and I think it's something that warrants one's attention.
There is always a deal there.
I mean, we can also just check it out after the show for our December escapades.
You bet. Check it out now. We're mobile ready. There's a thing called a Flap app, which is amazing, downloadable from iOS and Android stores, of course. And we're digital, man. You can see us wherever you need to find us. We'll find you if need be.
It stands.
Thank you so much.
Love your work, Lee Watts. Love your work.
Absolutely, man. But don't let the fact that you don't have the wheels to stop you from exploring the country. Rent a car today and make your road trip dreams a reality. Find and compare car rentals on travelstart.co.za. Just another amazing way to enjoy hassle-free, budget-friendly getaways with travelstart.co.za. Woo! Yay!
We will turn your guilt trips into good trips. Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstart.co.za.
And so since we are all about road tripping around our beautiful country today, we asked you where you might be wanting to road trip to over the December holidays, and this is what you had to say on social media.
So Daphne Nunelli said, good morning to all. I would like a road trip to the beautiful Betty's Bay and to eat prawns straight from the sea. Girl, you can get salmonella, but hopefully...
Gotta cook them first,
Gotta cook
Daphne.
them first. Rosary Schermbrucker said, good morning all. Staying at home because all the family is coming here. So very exciting, but we love Mossel Bay.
Then Anthony Burgess says garden route to Cape Town. Oh yes, over 2 weeks with 1 week in Cape Town and then back to Durban. That's quite a nice long road trip from Durban all the way through the garden route to Cape Town and then back. Wowzers. Claire Kenwood says when you live in Cape Town, it only takes a short left. I see what you did there. Margaret Mason, I love this one. She says, I'll be going to Romania, as in Romania. I'll go to Cape Town during the year out of season because it's cheaper, as I only have myself to worry about, which is also a way that you can plan your traveling around the country as well. Sashali, what about you? Are you road tripping anywhere, or is there anywhere around the country that you would still love to travel to?
You know, I'm actually basically taking a road trip later today. So I'm going to Paarl. Ooh. That seems like quite a bit of a road trip.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Depends.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Are you going to be at the Pink Polo?
Maybe.
Maybe?
I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure yet, but I'll definitely let you know. You'll be the first I tell.
Hook it up, Valdevi. Make it happen. It's polo with a purpose, and it's going to be a great cause to support on the day as well. So how about you then let us know where you would love to road trip to during the December holidays, if you're making any kinds of plans like that. Do share them with us. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, that's our Facebook page. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we talk about all of the fun in Miss World South Africa's life, because she's jetting off to quite a nice destination for the 14th of December, all the way to London town to represent South Africa. All of that and more after the break. Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is a Tuesday morning. We're back again on the couch with Miss World South Africa, Sashali Olivier, who in a month will be jetting off to London in her bid to represent Mzansi in the 2019 Miss World Gala pageant on the 14th of December. Oh, what a time to be alive. What a time to represent South Africa.
So much pressure. So much.
None
You know, my DMs were filled with, you know, Sashali, we just, I don't know if you've seen this, but we just won the World Cup. I don't know.
No pressure.
No pressure. No pressure at all.
So talk to us about that. I mean, this is arguably, I mean, in terms of your career, the next biggest moment in your career and in your life, representing on an international level our country at Miss World. How do you prepare yourself for an event like that?
You know, I think it's not a specific thing that you do.
Yeah.
It's your life that prepares you for this.
Very true.
It's the lessons that you take from it. It's your story. It's what you carry. It's other people's stories. There's no template as to how one can prepare for this, because in essence what Miss World is beauty with a purpose. And I think my whole life has been geared towards creating this campaign, and I'm just so excited to be there, you know.
Based on that answer alone, the crown is yours.
Beauty with a purpose. I like that.
Are you a judge? You know,
In fact, you didn't know I'm one of the secret panelists.
Ooh. Or the host with the most.
Imagine.
But you speak with beauty with a purpose. You are also all about celebrating the curvy community. Why was it so important for you to embrace that and all the curves and all the edges, may I say that?
You know, I think what's important is that no longer can we function in the parameters of what is. You know, we need to show up and we need to command our space. And sometimes it's going into a market that wasn't really, it didn't really celebrate you before, but that doesn't mean that that's the end. Sometimes you need to show up and you need to command your space. Pageants previously haven't really celebrated curvier women, but that doesn't mean that that's how it's supposed to be, because beauty isn't how you look. It's a matter of what you put out into the world. So the reality is that we all deserve to be there.
Yeah, wow, well said.
Queen.
I understand that also in the process of getting to London and the final on the 14th of December, there's pre-challenges that you're taking part in, right?
Yes.
Various pre-challenges. Tell us a little bit about that, or as much of it as you can give. And of course, you along the way, you'll be meeting other country ambassadors, forming friendships and networking. So take us into this process a little bit. What are you looking forward to as well?
So, if anything, there is a sports challenge. So, Miss World is more the holistic approach to being an individual. There's a sports challenge, there's beauty with a purpose, there's multimedia. They really go into all facets, which is great. But I think what I look forward to the most, besides meeting all these beautiful women who carry their own cause, I think it's going to feel more like home, because we are so diverse. It's actually going to feel like home, so I won't feel too homesick.
Yeah.
But I really look forward to working with Mrs. Julia Molly. I really am so proud to be a part of what she represents, the Beauty with a Purpose campaign. And I'm just so excited to see where this goes.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you gotten in touch with like former people, just like WhatsApping with Rolene Strauss? Like, how do I execute a successful campaign? Tell us about that.
Yes, I'm actually seeing her later today.
In Paul?
Yes.
At Val de Vie?
Yes.
And she's going to be at the Pink Pole as well, so you might as well.
I'm actually going to see her later today, and I'm so excited. She's played such a critical role in my development as someone who's trying to work towards this. This has been a lifelong dream, and she's definitely been one of the women I've looked to in this moment and looking towards in preparing, you know, because I think what is so important with her and what I've learned from her is how she engages with people on her Instagram. It was a little bit before her crowning, and I actually sent her a message. This is back in 2014, and she replied to me, and that was just such a crucial moment because you realize that these people are real.
Yeah.
And I always make sure I reply to everyone because I just knew how much that meant to me at that moment.
Absolutely. I mean, one thing I'm trying to, or I'm getting right now is that your job, and I call it a job because you are representing a country, is pretty intense. Do you have time to, for lack of a better phrase, let your hair down and relax? And when you do, what do you do?
You know, this is very much like being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Miss South Africa is not about the year, it's about the year after. It's about the years after. It's about creating that legacy. It's about what we look towards. Yes, there are the moments where we are made up and we do look a little bit glamorous.
Get a bit of a head massage.
Do you know, I live for those moments at the basin. I'm going to tell you this now. I live for those moments because those head massages, I don't know if I go there for the blow wave or for the hair massages.
Do you fall asleep?
Sometimes. Sometimes.
I think most humans do.
Most humans do.
Yeah.
But we do get time to let our hair down, but I think it's those moments that we use to actually reflect. Because some of the crisis that we carry, the cause that we carry, it's really heavy.
Yeah.
And I think you just need those moments to actually think a little bit more.
Very true.
Well, we are all rooting for you, but what is your final word that you'd like to share with South Africa before you leave to London and take on this next step in your journey?
This is ours. This is an opportunity for us, you know, and we've just seen it with the Springboks and our captain who said we are so much stronger together.
Yeah.
We are so much stronger together. There's voting on Mobstar. We can all really get involved in bringing that crown home.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, wait, tell me about that.
So we download an app. It's called Mobstar.
Mobstar?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's pretty much like Instagram.
Yes.
So all you have to do is basically like my content and my pictures, and you pretty much have a say.
Okay, so there it is, guys. Miss World Multimedia, how to vote. There are all the details. Keep that on there for as long as possible. Mobstar, then vote. Sashali, Laurel, Olivier. Okay, all right. We've got until when? Till the 14th of December?
I think so. I'm not really sure as to the time limit they put on there, but I'm saying, guys, let's just
start now, right?
Comment, share right now.
Start right now, okay? We are all behind you, just like we did with the Springboks hashtag Stronger Together. You have 57 million plus people standing behind you and saying, go out there, have the utmost confidence in yourself, carry your truth, your heart with you as you've just displayed it to us. And we are so, so proud to have you as a representative of this beautiful country of ours.
Thank you, and I'm so proud to carry the name.
Woo!
It means so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss World South Africa, Sashali, Laurel, Olivier.
Couldn't think of a better person to represent us. All the best of luck to you, Sashali. Now we turn the focus over from the beauty of our South African women to the beauty of nature. Did you know that plants actually breathe? They eat, they drink, just like us humans. Did you know it? But how do they do it? How do they manage to do it? It's just mind-blowing. How does the different parts of the plant work and what functions do they serve? Well, to teach us more about the fascinating world of plants, we have Plantify's head gardener, Andreas Keller, in studio to give us all a quick biology lesson about plants. Get your notepads out. Andreas, my friend from Plantify, welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So plants breathe, they eat, and they drink. Take me through that.
Right, so let's start with eating. So all plants with green leaves, whether it's a tiny moss or a giant redwood tree, you know, in California, produce their own food through a process of photosynthesis.
Yes.
So there's a green pigment called chlorophyll in green plants. And that, with a combination, that really guides the plant through a chemical process. Using the energy of the sun, the plant takes carbon dioxide, nutrients and water, and converts that into glucose, which is the energy or the food that the plant uses to, you know, to fuel itself, to power itself.
Yeah.
Of course, the plant needs various elements to do that. So, you know, like
the anatomy of it. That sounds like you're talking now about the anatomy of a plant. How do these different parts of the plant come together to be able to make the plant to do what it does?
Yeah, so we have roots. So that's really the part of the plant that anchors it to its environment. It could be in a tree, it could be in the ocean, it could be in soil. And this is really where the plant orients itself and then absorbs water and nutrients through the root system into the stems, which are these kind of longish areas. Well, of course, in different plants, it's different.
They may be long or short or medium, depending on the plant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the plant has leaves, and this is really where the plant produces the food. and also respirates. So this is where the plant breathes, actually through little openings like mouths, similar to humans.
Yeah.
They're actually oval.
Yeah.
They're called stomata. And that's where the interchange between carbon dioxide and oxygen happens. Of course, plants also have fruits, seeds, and flowers.
Yeah.
The reproductive parts of the plant.
Yeah.
And that's really a very clever way for nature to ensure that the plant spreads its genes. So insects are attracted to beautiful flowers.
Yeah.
Animals like to eat delicious fruits, and in the process, the seeds spread or the pollen spreads, and the plant continues to live for generations.
Well, we all love a good plant. Insects love it, but humans love them too. I mean, we all love to have a good set of plants in our houses. But now that we understand them a little bit better, I hope that then we're able to learn more about how to help them be the best that they can be. How can we do that, though?
So I want to tell you about 2 hacks, or 2 tips. The first one is to keep your leaves of your foliage plants dust-free. So, of course, in nature, rain takes care of that.
Yes.
Rain falls, it keeps the leaves clean, and the plant really needs that to respirate and to absorb a lot of, the energy of the sun. So at home, take a damp cloth, and just make sure that the leaves or the foliage is nice and clean.
Yeah, but not putting any sort of detergents on the cloth, because we're not cleaning a table here.
Exactly. Maybe you could have a plant cloth specifically for that purpose, so you don't mix it up.
Yeah. Okay. So now, this is very interesting, all of this. You've brought some plants with you. You have to absolutely not go anywhere without telling me what these plants are. This is very interesting, because these here look like pearls. What is this plant? I've never seen one like this before.
So the common name of this plant is the string of pearls. It's a proudly South African plant.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about it is that these round, balls or pearls are actually the leaves.
Oh, wow.
What's really cool about it is that once it establishes itself and it grows a bit bigger, actually forms this beautiful curtain of pearls, which is really, it has high curiosity value. It's trending around the world. So that's a really cool plant.
How big does this plant grow? Like, I suppose we're seeing it on the screen right now, behind me there, is that they can go quite long and like braidy, hey?
Exactly.
And so, are they perfect for indoors or outdoors? Where would it be most ideal to keep a plant like this?
So you want to give it bright, indirect sun. Some direct sun is also fine, but you want to be careful not for the sun to scorch the leaves.
Yeah.
The key thing with this plant is to not overwater it. So we often advise our clients to underwater it.
Yeah.
And just monitor it to see when the leaves shrivel up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a great indicator to give the plant water. Exactly. As opposed to being like in a cycle of like, let me water it every 10 days.
Yes.
Rather check when the leaves shrivel a little bit. That's your cue. Give it water, it'll fill out again and continue growing.
I suppose just like you would for your children, you can monitor and tell when they're hungry, when they're thirsty. You keep checking and monitoring. But you've not brought just the pearl or the string of pearls. You brought other plants as well. What other ones have you brought for us?
Yeah, so this is a really popular houseplant. In fact, it also grows outside. It comes from South America. It's really widely spread. It's called a lacy leaf philodendron, or lacy leaf, or the tree philodendron.
Oh, okay.
So next time you're in the Amazon, make sure you look up and not just down, because you'll see it like growing up in the foliage, like high up in a tree.
Yeah.
And it forms this really thick stem. And what's interesting about it is that, so it's an epiphyte, which means that it grows on another plant, but it's hemi-epiphytic or hemiphytic.
What does that mean?
It means that it has an interesting growing habit. So it can either start on the floor and grow up the tree, or it can start in the tree and grow downwards, supplementing its nutrition with actually roots that then tap into the earth. Yeah.
Totally got a life of their own, it sounds like. Well, you can have the Amazon in your own house. Thank you so much, Mr. Keller from Plantify, for bringing all of this through for us. We have great news for you at home, because we're giving away 2 potted plants. We're giving away a string of pearls and tree philodendron. Now, to enter, visit Expresso's Instagram page, that's @Expresso Show, and comment on the Plantify competition post, telling us what you would love to know about plants. Any questions you have, of course, Andreas is on standby to answer them. We'll answer them on our Facebook and our Instagram. Remember to follow the Plantify Instagram page as well, @Plantify_, to stand a chance to win. Terms and conditions, they do apply, and you can find them on expressoshow.com. Time for some music right now.
If you've just joined us, where have you been? You've missed out on so much this morning, including 2 amazing performances from this incredible group, Bongo Muffin. Okwangoku, let's take a quick breather, because after the break, they're about to turn up the heat in here.
Clover Crush, 100% pure fruit juice packed with vitamins and no added sugar. Crush your daily goodness. Now also available in long life.
Support Crush in giving away another 20,000 pairs of school shoes to children in need. Buy a Crush, dial the number on the pack, and stand the chance to win your share of 500,000 Rand. Hashtag share the goodness. Made with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso. Listen, man, I am so excited for this upcoming performance from Bongo Muffin. They're on standby about to perform their latest single, which is available on iTunes, called Gimme Joy. Be on the lookout for their album, which is dropping on the 29th of November. Are we ready?
Super ready.
Take it away.
We're born ready.
Don't cry, get lady money pillow. Where do we belong? I mean, what did we do wrong? Who did we do wrong? No stress, more boko. Man kaleng yo. Man kaleng fufa. Man kaleng yo. Man kaleng wanaka. Man kaleng yo. Man kaleng fufa. Man kaleng yo. Man kaleng
just like joy does the pain. Might just hop on a plane to kill the pain on the brain.
What are we after this?
a life chapter full, join me one. And tell me rapture, that's how it depend. Join me one capture, no tell me can. Better stop that sun, now is the time to spread my wings and fly. Up in the sky, fly high.
Bongo Muffin on your Feel Good Breakfast show. It doesn't get any better than that when you get to break it down with the legends like that, man. 29th of November from Bongo with Love is dropping. It's happening. Make sure that you go out. Pre-orders are open right now. Let's welcome back Miss World. I had to just make some space over there, man. Listen, Tanizo, can you quickly tell us about what's happening? What can we expect from you in the near future, other than, of course, the tour coming up, the album coming up? Any other great things coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's basically what we're focusing on right now. We're just trying to make sure that people know the album is out, and then we want to go out touring. That's really it, you know, the world awaits.
It awaits.
It's been absolutely wonderful having you here,
17 songs.
And
We're all over the place, yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, remember, you can vote for her as well on Mobistar. Mobstar. Get the app. Vote for her. She's making her way to London in about a month's time. The 14th of December is when Miss World is taking place, right?
Let's support her! Let's support her!
It's time for us to say goodbye. Thank you very much for joining us. Do so again tomorrow morning. In the meantime, make someone smile out there. Bye-bye.
Bye!
I was just playing. Eh? I was just playing.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.